Bum. Bum ba ba ba. Bum ba ba ba. Doug Space Nine. Doug Space Nine. Doug Space Nine. This is my favorite part of the show, is when no one can see us. This is where the solid gold happens.
Lucky bastards.
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I say yes, even though I'm cleaning my glasses.
You don't look ready.
I just realized there's a bunch of schmutz on there.
Uh-oh. Get the schmutz.
Okay.
Okay, now you look ready. Here we go.
Oh, this is worse.
Boom!
Still. Ah! Yep, that is worse.
Oh no, it's worse.
I knew I wasn't ready.
We are live, my friends. Here we go. Stream health is in...
Oh no.
In the orange. Oh well, fuck it. It's probably working. It looks like it's working.
It's raining out. That's got to affect.
What's up, Super Hamster? I know, it's raining, so the stream health is bad. That's what Doug's face looks like naked. Whenever I see people without glasses that I'm used to seeing with glasses, I'm like, your face is naked.
So does my goddamn iPhone. It won't do the face unlock.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they have a new version of it where you can put in like other faces, so I did it with and without glasses, and it still doesn't work well without my glasses.
Wow. Hey, Amanda, Andy, and Jillian. Hi, Jillian.
Boom, boom, boom.
That reminds me, I have this new face mask feature. I wonder what it does when there's two people.
Oh, can we get like we're gonna get little cat ears?
Yeah, hold on, let's, I want to find out.
Can we face swap the whole time?
Unfortunately no, but that's a terrifying and wonderful idea that I would love to try. Hold on, okay, let's test the face swapping. I think I can test it from here.
Face masks.
Face masks.
Ooh.
Wait.
That's not us.
It's in the alert box. Test merch, test on it. Oh, I can only do it from the other program. I got a new program to stream from, and I can't use it for this show yet.
Okay.
Because I have to rebuild the template. I didn't have time this week.
Come back next week to see what faces we're wearing.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks.
But it's actually possible, it might be possible to get clips on screen with the new program. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, man. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind for next time. Although I don't know if that's gonna, like if we get some sort of like content ID from doing that and they ask us to take the show down, I'll be very sad. That would like really bum me out.
Yeah, let's not. No one call the fuzz on us. Don't bring the heat down.
Yeah, don't call the YouTube police. You enjoyed the episodes much more this week? Yeah, they were pretty solid this week.
Well, it's that, you know, you gotta slog through a bunch of crap early season Star Trek, man. That's the way it works.
Hey, Mr. Parker, what is this about? I haven't seen any of the other episodes of this. So this is my friend Doug, and we talk about...
Hi, Parker.
2 episodes of Deep Space Nine per episode of Doug Space Nine.
And it's a really tight conversation focused entirely on Deep Space Nine.
Exactly. We don't go all over the place and talk about Star Trek Discovery most of the time. No, sir.
I'm not trying to slowly undermine Jesse's opinion about Discovery.
That's not what this show is for.
I'm not trying to change your opinion. I'm just trying to show you how all of your objections have no legs.
Right.
That's all I'm trying. I'm just trying to sweep your foundation.
I just want to make sure you know that your personal opinions are incorrect.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, Andy's watching too. Awesome. What's up, Andy? Good to see you. It's like a hollow filter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The face masks are a hollow filter.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work with 2 of us here. I don't even know if it works. Yeah, Discovery's a trash fire. There you go.
I know. See? Amanda is right about a lot of things, except for this.
Especially this.
Well,
What's
you know
up,
what?
Mike?
I'm willing to accept that people think Discovery's a trash fire, but I'm telling you, when they get to season 5, you're going to be saying, oh, Discovery's so good. Maybe skip the first season. Just like we do with every other Star Trek series.
I believe that. I think that that could be true, but I also think that your assertion that the first season of Discovery is better than any other first season of Star Trek
100%.
is 100% incorrect.
First 13 episodes, not first season. First 13 episodes.
Sure. I mean, well, we're still on episode 7 of Deep Space Nine. Already, like, worlds better. Worlds better than Discovery.
No.
So much better.
This week we get back into Space Wizard territory, which is a real fun part.
The literal
of Star
Space
Trek.
Wizard Q is here this week.
And we also go through a explicit, massive redesign of a previous species. So I mean, we're squarely in Star Trek Discovery territory.
They redesigned the Trill and they redesigned the Bajorans so much.
Yeah.
On this show. Yeah, like Bajorans at first had like a straight line on their forehead as well as the ridges, like Ensign Ro has that. But now they have some with that, and then they kind of get rid of that. And there's actually some Bajorans where you see them with a line, and then the next time you see them, they don't have it. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. And then the Trill, are you talking about the Trill?
Yeah, but that's the second one. We can save that.
Yeah, we'll save that. Okay. Okay.
You want to jump right into Q-less?
Let's jump into Q-less.
Right.
Oh my god. Okay, this episode is it's simultaneously
all over the map.
Completely pointless.
Yes.
And utterly entertaining.
Yeah. It has no reason to exist. No reason to exist.
None.
It would be one of the worst of the first season except for Vash. I mean, I really think that there's no reason to even have a Vash episode in Deep Space Nine.
There's not.
But if you're going to start clawing people back from TNG, that's a decent choice.
Yeah.
She's a great actor. I think the character is a fun, interesting character. It's consistent. She's consistent between the Vash episodes of TNG.
Sure, yeah.
But to wrap it around Q is
it's crazy. Yeah, Andy was saying how... yeah, thank you, Andy. Can we talk about her jacket? Yeah, her jacket's fantastic. And then she wears, like, earrings that are a necklace.
Yeah.
What is that? It's fucking rad. Cisco punched Q.
Yes.
Never had any more problems out of it. Exactly. Q never comes back. You punch Q once, and he's like, all right, I'm not fucking with this guy. But yeah, it really seems like a completely shoehorned attempt to get Q onto the show.
Yeah.
And I actually looked up some of the behind-the-scenes stuff on this. And it started as a Vash episode. Like, they wanted to have Vash come on the show.
Because it makes sense. She comes back. She's been traveling, so she can... There's a reason to put a character in the Gamma Quadrant.
But Q was like an afterthought,
yeah,
which is so funny.
What's probably happened is someone's like, hey, well, we should probably watch those TNGs. And like, oh, that was Q. Why don't we throw him in here, too?
Yeah, they were like, the producers were saying that they really wanted to have Q come on the show at some point, and this just seemed like... the perfect opportunity because they were already working on this Vash story. Like, if you're bringing Vash back, you have to bring Q back.
Yeah,
because the last time we saw Vash, she was like running off with Q.
Q, right.
But you know what's super interesting is that when this aired, the very next week, Q was on Next Generation on the Tapestry episode. Isn't that weird? It like makes no sense.
Nothing about Q makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Q is a huge mistake in my opinion. I think the episodes are fun, but I really feel like Star Trek made a choice and now they're kind of stuck with it.
I disagree. I love Q.
I think John Delancey was too good of an actor. The Q in Farpoint, and he's another thing that's all over the map. Like, nothing about him. Forget the fact that he's this infinite power space wizard. Nothing about his motivations make any kind of sense. It's just bizarre. So
yeah.
He's one of the main things when people are like, well, what about in Discovery? I'm like, Q. Everything you think about as Discovery doesn't matter because Q exists.
What's up, Gamer Guy Natalki? You love some Deep Space Nine. Nice.
Yeah.
YouTube Gaming is gone for you. Yeah, we talked about this last night. They're closing down YouTube Gaming. It's crazy. They're reintegrating it into the regular YouTube, which might be good, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I love Q, and I love the whole arc that he has on Next Generation. I think Q on Next Generation is like really well written. It starts out a little shaky, but by the time you get to the season 3 episode where he loses his powers and gets stabbed in the hand with a fork by Guinan, that shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And Tapestry, like I was just talking, Tapestry's a great episode, one of my favorite episodes of Next Generation.
They do good things with them, but it takes forever, and they still never really explain why he does what. There's like zero motivation for anything that he does.
I think he's
any
just
kind of sense.
Bored. I think he's just infinitely bored and trying to have fun, and like Starfleet offers a little bit of interest to him. Yeah, and the whole thing at the end of this episode where he's talking to Vash about how seeing the universe through her eyes made him feel wonder for like a split second. Like he's just too old and like too much of a brat to enjoy anything.
What that moment is they're like, you know what? Maybe Q is just Doctor Who.
Exactly. But it's totally Doctor Who.
But he's not. It's just like in that one moment. And also with Q, you can't believe anything the man says. He's clearly a liar.
Yeah.
He's ready to physically torture this woman so that she'll hang out with him.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That
also, he has infinite power in an infinite universe, and he focuses on Janeway or Vash. Like, that's another thing I have
a huge problem with that. It's like he happens to show up on the next series.
I could accept the fact if you believe that like Q is simultaneously being a fucking creepazoid to millions of sentient creatures across the universe at the same time. Then I'm more willing to accept what is going on with Q.
And maybe he can.
Maybe he can. Q is one of those things for me where you just need massive headcanon to even make sense within Star Trek. Totally. But this is where, in my opinion, the more like TOS that Star Trek gets, the kind of weaker it gets.
Yeah, like the god characters.
Running
so
into
TOS.
god characters in space, you know. I mean,
Right.
Q is just a more advanced version of Trelane.
Yeah, they keep shoehorning him back into the new series. Like, I think what they do with him in Voyager is that's a little too far for me. I'm like, I cannot accept that Q is now on Voyager in the Delta Quadrant. This is too far.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they do interesting stuff, like the episode where there was another Q who wants to be allowed to die and they have a trial.
Well,
that was a good episode.
John Delancey is a great actor. That he really hams it up when he's playing his Faye Space Wizard. So I can see why they keep going back to that well. But once you accept Q, then magic teleporting mushroom drive is no problem.
Yeah, no Q problem. Is a 12 on the mushroom scale.
Absolutely. He's an infinite on the mushroom scale.
Yeah. Q is the mushroom scale that we rate other mushroom events upon.
Maybe that's how he travels so quickly. It's through
the mycelial network. The Q continuum is the mycelial network. That's totally what's happening.
They're all just fucking baked out of their minds on space mushrooms.
They're on space mushrooms. Yeah, but when you get to the Q Civil War in Voyager, I'm just out. I'm like, this is dumb. And then he's like, your puny mind cannot comprehend this any other way than by showing the Earth Civil War. I'm like, no, my puny mind can see through your budget constraints.
What it is that you have a flair for costumes, Q. Just admit it. You just like playing dress up.
You like cosplay.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Okay, but let's talk about Q-list, because this episode starts out with another insanely ridiculous situation that a teleporter would have fixed. Which is there's people trapped in a shuttlecraft and we can't get into it.
Right.
But before that, we have Bashir hitting on someone in Quarks by talking about his like Starfleet medical exams, and he's like, pre-ganglionic nerve and post-ganglionic fiber that comes up like several times throughout the show. I'm sure I got that backwards.
It was a trick question.
It was a trick, yeah. And he's like got this woman like on the edge of her seat. You can tell this was written by a horny dude.
Because, like most of Star Trek?
Yeah, she's like on the edge of her seat. Like you can tell that she's like turned on by him talking about his entrance exams. And O'Brien's behind just like, this dude's gross. Like, this guy's a creeper. And then they get called from Cisco to go save the day at the docking ring.
Right.
And Cisco doesn't even mention that it's like an emergency.
Right.
He's like, please report to the docking ring.
Sure, we'll just stroll
down there. And they like
down
saunter over there. And there's like people dying in a shuttlecraft. Dax is dying in a shuttlecraft.
On their last gasp of air.
It makes no sense. Beam them off. Right. Beam them off of the shuttlecraft. If you have a problem in a shuttlecraft at a docking ring, beam the people to sickbay.
They go out of their way to show that a problem could have been solved with a transporter and they didn't do it, yet they end the episode by solving the problem with the transporter. It's weird.
Right. They beam off the egg.
Pseudo-orb.
Yeah, the real story of this episode is that there is a space creature's egg who can move a space station and poke holes in it just by coming to term. I don't know. It's very strange. Like at one point, the space egg, like, remember when like they lose?
Just think of the words you're saying as you're describing the show. There's a space egg that's drawing power that turns it into gravitons.
Yeah, exactly. At the one point, they like they depressurize Ops. Do you remember when Ops gets depressurized?
Oh yeah, like where? Yeah. Like there's a hole somewhere in Deep Space Nine. Well, it's affecting everywhere.
Yeah, it makes
that was
very
so
little
like suddenly
sense.
There's a rush of air. Like, who put the window open?
Yeah, and of course it's like gorgeous, and Quark wants to trick Vosh into selling it to him for less money. But yeah, anyway, so like on the shuttlecraft, we see that Vosh is there, and then you have that ridiculous turnaround shot where Q is like still pretending to work on the on the stuff, and all O'Brien had to do was like he plugged in an external battery and it had power, and then they could open the door.
So much of O'Brien's job seems like it's just being there with stuff.
Yeah, totally. A lot of technobabble for O'Brien to plug in an external battery. Amanda says Bashir being a player doesn't work for me. He couldn't make it work.
Yeah, he's a fuckboy. It's gross.
Yeah, and both of these episodes this week start with him hitting on somebody.
Is Nightbot a real robot, or is that
It's a robot, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, if you type in a command, it'll pop up a response.
We have a robot. We have a robot.
Yeah, there was an actual robot in chat. And Mercury Fleet is a bot also.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Gamer Guy said, how am I going to sponsor you if YouTube Gaming is deleted? They're bringing that over to regular YouTube, so that shouldn't change at all.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Or just like mail cash.
You mail cash, yeah.
Venmo.
As opposed to female cash, I guess.
Venmo.
Yeah, I feel like they're really doing Bashir a disservice with the way they're having him hit on everybody, because it seemed indiscriminate indiscriminately he hits on everyone who's even remotely attractive in
both
female.
episodes that comes up,
and in several episodes prior to this one, and it's like kind of getting tiresome, I think.
Well, yeah, they eventually do ease off a little bit of that with Bashir. They change it, but again, it's a thing I'll keep mentioning. This is one of the downsides of even pseudo. It's episodic. It's pseudo-serialized more than TNG, but they don't explore this aspect of Bashir or even show him getting mature. It's just they have him stop being a fuckboy all the time.
Yeah, well, he starts dating Lita, and then they just let him.
Then it just becomes like now it's like
focus his fuckboy nature on one person.
Then there's becomes like what's like a new relationship energy like for people? What's it like when you're around somebody who's gaga? Then it's what is it when they're going through a breakup? It's just the excuse to do certain stories. It's not fully. It's like it's very one dimensional. Like O'Brien and Keiko. It's like it's a marriage on the rocks kind of thing.
Do we know what order these were filmed in? These were filmed as 6 and 7. Yeah, these were filmed in the order that they were released in. But it doesn't seem like it because Odo's makeup seems like it goes backwards in Dax than it is in like Q-less in the couple episodes prior.
Yeah, his face gets less lumpy as time goes on, but the first season it's really off.
Yeah. This seems like everyone was struggling with their parts. I agree. I think that that's the writing. I think that they didn't quite have the character designs down yet.
Not yet, yeah.
As far as like who these people are. Cisco also Dodd kind of poorly. I think that's a typo. It's all he likes
did kind of poorly.
Oh, did kind of poorly. Yeah, you like horny characters because it's hilarious with the pickup lines. Yeah, I mean they play Bashir for laughs a lot with his horniness,
which sometimes is fine.
Yeah,
sometimes it's less fine. And I'll get to that when we get to the next episode.
I think.
Well, no, this one when he's got Vash as a patient, and it's
that's
like,
right. He's on Vash
in my job as a Federation medical person. Hey, by the way, do you want to maybe go out for dinner and smooch faces later?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could think of a reason to keep you here. Like, what the fuck, doctor?
I'm sad you're not sick, so I can't hit on you more.
Yeah, that cannot be appropriate.
He hits on every woman. Yeah. He hits on like everybody, and it was kind of. I think that there's an element of it being almost cute when he's only hitting on Dax. It's like he's just gaga for Dax.
Well, they kind of make it like everybody. Like they have literally the scene where there's like people staring at her as she walks through, Deep Space Nine.
It goes a little far with that too. But then like when Bashir starts hitting on everybody, it's no longer like a cute crush. Don't forget your orb.
My orb.
It's no longer a cute crush. It's just like he's just being kind of a creep. He's just really horny. Like the biggest takeaway from this week's episodes is that Bashir is not getting laid.
He's not getting laid at all.
Like he needs to spend some holosuite time to get those urges under control so that he can be a functional adult. I think Bashir has like a real sex addiction, and it's not being talked about. Yeah, O'Brien's giving the crazy looks to Bashir in the beginning is great. It's so good.
And I feel like there's a part of him who's both scorning Bashir for this, and then kind of like to the girl, like that's working. Oh my god.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's I don't think it's working. I think that was written to work. I think that, like
100%.
There's no way that works the way that it went in that episode.
And that scene I think could have been more interesting. It's just a small scene to focus on, but they put it there, so I'm gonna focus on it.
Yeah, totally.
Is if she was kind of like polite or eye rolly. They kind of try to do with Dax, but with Dax they try to play it both ways. Like, is she pushing him away gently? Is she kind of interested?
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like she's enjoying the attention but not interested.
Right.
Which is weird for her character. It feels like she talks to other people about how like romance is for the young and all that, but she doesn't shut Julian down. I think she does later this season where she like really shuts him down.
I feel like at a certain point they went back and they're like, what are we fucking doing here?
Yeah.
Man? Has any of you watched Deep Space Nine, the show that we're making? Have you ever watched them all like in a row? Because holy shit, some of this stuff really...
Yeah, when you watch like...
He's back.
When you watch 2 episodes at a time like we're doing and like really look at 2 episodes at a time, it becomes way more obvious that they're going way too far with Julian being a hornball.
Right, some of the flaws stand out a lot more because it's just being it's not being drawn out in a thoughtful way. It's a character trait that they're hammering every single time.
Right, totally. But yeah, so then so Q's here, and they kind of they kind of like hide him a little bit for the first third of the episode, and he's just like bothering Vash behind the scenes.
He does feel tacked on. The fact that you're saying that was not the original intent, I can see that more now thinking about the episode. Because he's basically watching it the way we're watching it, except he can fuck with people. You know, he's just kind of there.
Yeah, like he could be watching, like this. He could be watching everyone without actually being in the room.
Right. He's messing with Cisco, but he has no effect on what the story is. I mean, on the plot driver, on the travails that are happening to them. He's not helping or hurting that. He's just hanging around the station, puppy dogging Vash.
Yeah. Which is what? Okay, what is your takeaway of their relationship?
Vash and
Q.
It's just bad writing. I mean, again, I think what they're going for is they were trying to go for like almost like a quirky 30s romantic comedy type dynamic, and a little bit of, like I said, the Doctor Who thing where it's like, oh no, I am this infinite space wizard, but I do need you, little insignificant human, to think that things are cool, and I can be like, oh yeah, right, these are kind of cool. But whatever they're trying to do, I don't think that they play it well because of the way that he treats her, which is awful.
He's such a bully towards her, and it totally makes sense to me that after 2 years together, she's just like done with him and ready to like not ever speak to him again.
Right.
And I like what this tells us about Doctor Who more than what it tells us about Star Trek. Where, like, when you have this infinite, you know, like, all-knowing creature traveling with a human, that kind of keeps that person grounded a little bit so they can see the universe through, like, limited eyes a little bit more. Yeah. Which is totally Doctor Who. I mean, you know, when David Tennant travels alone, he becomes dangerous.
Right.
And he, like, needs a companion with him to kind of keep him grounded. So
yeah, and I think to also be like, hey, I can go anywhere, but how about you pick something? Because then, you know, there's at least the hint of novelty, of novelness in them picking it for you, you know?
Yeah, Amanda makes an interesting point. No matter how powerful Q is, he still has to deal with free will, which is interesting because he technically doesn't have to.
Right, that's
he can make people do whatever he wants, but it seems like he chooses not to because even for him, that feels hollow.
Yeah.
And he needs the free will to be interested in what other people are doing. So I think that he leaves people's free will intact on purpose.
Right.
Yeah, because like he makes Bashir go to sleep. He puts Bashir in the penalty box. Yeah. He's gone for the rest of the episode. He just makes him go take a nap. Yeah. Which is great because I'm like, put Bashir down. Like, we don't need any more Bashir in this episode. You're ruining this character with his horniness, and let's just not talk to him for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but he could snap his fingers and make Vash think however he wanted her to think. He could make a new Vash that thinks that way. He could find the other human or other alien in the zillions of sentient beings that think basically the same way she does.
But it wouldn't be fun for him. It wouldn't be interesting if he changed her in any way, and that's why he leaves her with her free will intact, and then tries to convince her to stay with him. I mean, the most intense moment of that in this episode is in 99 Julian. Oh yeah, Talkie, totally. We'll get to that in season 7. But that was interesting for sure. I'm curious to see that with fresh eyes because not getting into any spoilers, but because of how this all starts in season 1 with Julian being so horny and gross. Yeah. I'm curious. I know he grows a lot. I mean, he becomes genetically modified and much more serious at that point of a character.
Sorry, my other podcast is calling.
But yeah, I'm excited to get to that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when talking about like Vash and free will, when Q like gives her that bug bite back that she got on some planet that he saved her from, and like makes her lose all of her hair and like tortures her, it's really disturbing and really dark. And like, no wonder she doesn't want to be with him. Yeah, you know. Yeah, and in his mind, it's like, oh, this already happened to you, and I saved you from this. But in reality, it's just like, you know, if we're friends, you don't do this to me. And so he can't really be friends with someone as much as he wants to be. Because he's too much of a fucking asshole. Yeah. So, other takeaway, don't be an asshole and maybe you can have friends.
You can learn some lessons from Star Trek. Amanda said that Vash seemed comfy in her part.
Yeah, she does.
Comfy. Yeah, I don't know if Amanda means like the
actress
actor playing,
comfortable as Vash. I think
or the character in the situations, but I think both are true. I think that she plays that role really well. Yeah. And I think that she's written to be someone who is comfortable and confident, like dealing with Quark. They show someone who's kind of using the creepy energy from Bashir and Quark and other people, you know, to her own advantage. Which is something she can't do with Q, because I see that's the other thing. I don't know if you were asking about that. Like, do I think that they had, like, you know, super magic space boning time? And I feel...
The thought had occurred to me.
Yeah, well, it has to. Like, that seems to be...
There's like an undercurrent of maybe I mean, they've been alone together for years, and Vash is the type of person who, like, I could imagine Vash, I don't know what to say. I could imagine her hitting on Q.
Yeah. I think
and Q being, like, interested enough to go along with it.
And I thought about this a lot, and I've come to the conclusion that the writers don't want to give the implication that there was a sexual relationship, because so far at this point in Deep Space Nine, when they do want to imply things, they're super heavy-handed about it.
Right.
They don't ever do anything where it's like really ambiguous in that sense, you know. It's usually pretty straightforward.
They don't imply, they just say it.
Yeah, and then in the next one we see things like that where they'll foreshadow that kind of stuff when it's like, oh, this is going to be that they were fucking. You get to see everybody going like, oh, making faces.
Yeah, totally. People are very immature about sex so far. They fixed that later, though. I mean, the Bajoran attitudes towards sex are actually really cool. And actually, that's something I really love about the show. I mean, what you get to experience a little bit through Julian's relationship with Lita.
Right.
Which I really like, and I can't wait to talk about that when we get to that Ryza episode, which is terrible besides that, with the whole weather system and Worf being a stick in the mud.
Vash. I mean, Vash.
What is her fucking name? I think, like, Picard said Vash, and most people say Vash, and I just don't know what to say.
Vash. Ryza, that's where she came from. Not came from, but that's how she was first introduced into Star Trek.
Oh, that's right, on Ryza with Picard in the Picard's Ryza episode.
Yeah. And Ferengis.
What kind of shirt is that, Doug? Patrick asks.
Oh, this is Space Laser Cat.
Yeah. You sell those at your shop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should check out Ugly Baby. It's a store in the Pike Place Market that Doug's wife founded. Right? Or were you part of that? What's the story?
It's a business. I don't know our history. But yeah, it's stuff we sell and make.
It's a really cool store. It's like pretty well known in Seattle, and there's like it's called Ugly Baby, and there's a picture of a baby's face, and it is actually Doug.
Yeah, if you're in Seattle, stop on by.
I didn't even know for a while.
We sell analog memes.
Analog memes, exactly. My friend Sarah bought one, and it's like on the mirror.
Nice.
It says, "We are all star stuff and farts."
Farts. I just made that. That's like.
Did you?
Like, yeah, I made that just like a month ago.
Yeah, on my birthday, we went down to the market. We went in your store, and she saw that and she bought it, and it was very exciting.
Nice.
You're a Ryza. I'm a Ryza kind of person. Yeah. Oh, me too. Bring it on.
It's a pleasure planet.
Pleasure planet. I want there to be a Ryza episode in every Star Trek, and I'm so disappointed with what they've done with it, because like the Deep Space Nine episode was kind of lame, and the Enterprise episode was okay. But like the TNG Ryza episode is great, with the Tox Utat and the Ferengi trying to steal it, and Vash and Picard and his short shorts. Like, that's a great episode. And I don't understand why they always try to put in so much, like, I want people to go to Ryza to have fun and enjoy themselves and have maybe an adventure while they're there and to have a little tension. I don't want people to go to Ryza and deal with, like, boring shit, you know? And they do that with Worf.
Yeah.
And, like, the weird protests that are happening around, like, the weather grid or whatever. It was dumb.
It's gonna be fun when we get there.
Yeah, it will be. Like, they make Worf such a stick in the mud on DS9.
Well,
it's so annoying.
They're not wrong.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I think it's the right characters.
I'm
not a huge fan of Worf on DS9, but
I think he's so much better on TNG.
Yeah, but I do think it's a good characterization for him, though. I mean, yeah.
Except for the prison camp stuff, which don't want to talk about yet. But anyway, that's my favorite Worf arc in all of Star Trek.
It's so hard to stay focused.
Well, it's more fun when we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do. But speaking of Vash's relationship with Quark, I think that's my favorite part of this episode. Is like she just plays him like a fiddle, and we get to see some Umox, and like she just knows how to work a Ferengi. It's so great. Speaking of Umox, during the what's it called, the auction at the end, when the bid gets up to like
$1 million,
like super high, Quark like repeats the bid and starts touching his ear.
Which is like he's grabbing his junk.
He's like doing this, sexually aroused by the bidding, and starts like touching himself.
$1 million bars of
platinum. It's such a great character moment. It
is.
It's so good. It like makes his makeup real. It makes his ears real. It's like he has a mannerism that's on a part of his body that doesn't exist for the actor.
Right.
Which I think is really impressive. I love that kind of attention to detail. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
They do another cute thing in there when they're doing the bidding, and then they just show a hand, but it's got 6 fingers, and so then he's like, 6 bars or whatever, you know, the jumping, or 600, but that's like, but it's just one hand held up, and then he's like,
I didn't catch that. That's great. I love that. That's so cool.
I do a lot of freeze framing of it for the memes that I'm making. So
nice. Oh, do you have one this week?
Yeah, I emailed you 2.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. I'll pull it up later.
Okay, we'll do it during the break.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good idea. Yeah, I just really love Quark in this episode because normally they just play him as like a greedy hornball, which he still kind of is in this episode, but his like shrewd business sense comes out a little bit, where he's like, there's a profit to be made here,
right,
and I'm gonna go after it.
Yeah.
And he just like really seems to respect Vash.
Well, see, yeah, what I realized
because of her like greed.
Yes, like he is mostly the kind of person that will take everything he can from suckers.
Right.
So when he's like 50-50 split with Vash, he's just assuming like, oh, she's just like some schmo archaeologist who dug up a bunch of crap, and 50-50 sounds good. Yeah. And then he realizes like, oh no, she's like a straight up criminal like me, so it's got to be a more reasonable, fair market value in the criminal enterprise split. And then he tries again to like screw her out of the space scenario.
Yeah.
But then when she won't budge, he's fine with it. Like, cause he's just trying to get what he can under the assumption that he's more clever. He's cleverer than everyone else.
But he'll like milk any resource he can find, and when he realizes that Vash herself is kind of a resource, he tries to partner up with her, and like it seems like their partnership probably continues after the episode. Yeah, with her going to, you know, other planets and looking for stuff. And
they never bring her back, but that would have been a great thing to do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I like the conflict within her of like, I haven't been to Earth in 12 years. Should I go back to Earth, or should I just like keep on with my like archaeological ways? She's like, I'm done with sleeping in tents. Right. But I like that she chooses not to at the end, that she chooses to just go back to what she was doing.
Yeah, it's her nature.
Yeah.
She's not there to change as a character.
Yeah. We gotta talk about Q's interaction with the rest of the crew, because there's just like a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's not
there's
much.
Like one scene where Q is, you know, he like gets into fisticuffs with Cisco, which is so silly. Yeah. But I love it's so enjoyable. Yeah. It's like really entertaining, and I mean, this show is supposed to be entertainment, so I like it. You know,
this is. I mean, like I said, I'm back and forth as far as my thoughts on it, because it is ridiculous, but yeah, Star Trek is ridiculous entertainment.
Yeah. There's a deleted scene that's kind of infamous from this episode where Cisco is like right in Q's face. It's like right before they fight, and he's like, what do you want to do? What are you gonna do? Thrash me? And in a deleted scene, he says, what are you gonna do? Ravage me? And then John Delancey's like starts laughing. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then they're like right next to each other, and Cisco like grabs his shoulder and like brushes it off. He's like, I might. And it's really funny. It's really great.
And see, that's the kind of thing that when people
you have that clip on your channel, John. That's awesome.
When people do Q episodes, these are the kind of in-jokes type things that they would reference. Like that deleted scene would be the kind of thing that if Q came back on Deep Space Nine, they would talk about, because they've other times, like Q on Voyager, where he'll talk about sort of like meta things that exist outside of the knowledge of the show itself, you know? Or even in universe things, where he shows up in this one and he's wearing the old style Starfleet uniform, and then he's like, I like your new tailor. Or
right, and he's wearing the old style, and he's like crouched by the docking port in the beginning, and no one notices that there's a Starfleet dude there wearing the wrong uniform.
Clearly, if not by this one, certainly by the next episode, that the security on Deep Space Nine, despite what Odo says, is subpar at best. That I feel like I could hijack Deep Space Nine at this point in time.
We should. That would be
Doug
a great.
Space Nine.
That's the next episode of Doug Space Nine. We hijack Deep Space Nine.
Just go tooling around the universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's got thrusters. I was just gonna say that. I love when you get to see the thrusters. Like we got to see the thrusters in this episode again. You don't see that very often, where they try to move the ship.
Yeah.
And we don't get to see them put the ship, or the station. We don't get to see them put the station back in its right place after it gets moved towards the wormhole, which is kind of a bummer. I kind of wanted to see that. Yeah, but what is happening with the space egg? It's like
it's just techno, you know.
Somehow the space egg,
Picard and his crew would have solved this techno babble.
The space egg wants to go back through the wormhole, so the whole station moves towards it. I guess, I don't know.
And that it gives off something that turns the energy into gravitons.
It makes very little sense.
And then sometimes that punctures holes in the hole. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
The genetically engineered group escaped and made it to DS9 by just wearing uniforms. That episode. That whole... There's 2 episodes with those people.
Oh, what is that quote that
Did not like it. But by season 4, that defense grid is really something. Yeah, they totally tighten their shit up.
Here's another thing, is they make it clear here that they don't have any, like, fast ships also on Deep Space Nine, which they've repeatedly said is the hub of commerce in this area and is becoming a power in the sector. Still, they've only got runabouts.
Right. I mean, they fix that too.
Later.
In a massive way.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait for. The Defiant is maybe... I mean, the Enterprise D will always be my favorite ship, but I think the Defiant is my second favorite Star Trek vessel. Pretty sure. I'll let you know if I change my mind.
Okay.
But I do love how all the shuttles are named after rivers, like the Ganges and the Yangtze, Kian.
And they stopped that, though, too. That goes away after... couple seasons.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of like what people do when you work in like tech, and then you have like a bunch of servers, or at any kind of business where you've got like a rack of servers. You give them like, oh, these are all sci-fi villains,
Oh, fun.
Yeah, at least that's been my experience.
That makes me
any kind of company I went to, and then it gets to a point where you're like, oh, this company's trying too hard. They're like, with their server names. There is you can anyone that's been down that road will know what I'm talking about.
This episode won extra points for just being enjoyable, not for the quality. I agree.
Yeah.
I think that this episode is more enjoyable than it has any right to be. Because
it's weirdly
not
fun.
A good episode, but it is fun. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it.
D69 is setting itself up to be a dark Star Trek, and then they do this silly nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, because it's the Danube class. That's right. Yeah, the Danube class of Runabout are all named after rivers.
Good call.
Android version names are fun too. Like they're all foods: Kit Kat, Marshmallow. Yeah. Yeah, that is fun too.
Oh, I like the aliens that came in to bid to do the
Oh my
auction.
god, yeah, that was great.
This took me a while to figure out, like, oh, they're not doing... These aren't, like, Gamma Quadrant. Because one of the things that Deep Space Nine does is they just Gamma Quadrant people are just like, weird face in a crazy costume,
Right.
This was like, oh, they're doing this in Alpha Quadrant. Like, let's just introduce... And this, you don't need to have species that you've seen before. Just, like, have a group of weird new characters.
Yeah, there's, like, that bird person with the beak.
Yeah, and then the inscrutable...
Quack, you obsequious toad.
He seemed like the guy that had the breather thing on TNG,
Oh,
that's who he...
Oh my god.
Reminded me of the blue guy.
What is his name?
Don't remember.
That Wesley went to the training,
I was looking to see this
Starfleet Academy test with. Mordock!
Mordock, yeah.
Boom!
Good pull.
Yes! And then, what's the other guy who's not Mordock, but...
Mardock?
But, like, Wesley thinks is Mordock, but he's
not.
Right,
but it's like the same actor.
A Benzite. They're Benzites.
Okay, yeah. So this guy looked like, sort of like a dried-up Benzite.
A dried-up Benzite.
I also had to look, the guy that works in the assayer's office, who was one of my favorites in this episode, one scene where he's just checking Vosh's shit into a storage locker. Also,
he's amazing.
Completely pointless scene.
Okay, I pulled the actor's name is Van Epperson.
Yeah. Oh, I looked him up too.
I pulled it up because I intend to nominate him for best performance because his minute on screen where he's just like the most hoity-toity.
It's great.
Like one item, But then the space egg really impresses him. I've never seen anything like it before.
But also low-key impressed.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Totally.
It's interesting because I was watching this whole thing and I so wanted to pick whoever played Vosh.
Jennifer Hetrick, yeah.
Yeah, but then that dude with that one scene, he took something that if you write those lines out, you can see that's just like, oh, this is just like blah 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 doing a thing. He took a flat nothing set of lines and really turned it into a character. It's pretty impressive.
It's really impressive. He like really steals the whole episode in one tiny little scene.
Yeah, just the
same in the next episode. The Arbiter completely steals the episode.
100%.
Holy shit, she is. We'll talk about her soon, but. Yeah, I love that scene where Vosh is like putting all of her stuff in the security deposit box.
Also has no, that's like straight up padding, because they've done they put a gun on the table and then just like walked away from it.
Yeah,
I kept thinking like there's going to be some sort of heist. They're going to have to break in, because they spend time talking about all the levels of security. So I thought, oh, this is going to end with them having to rescue the glowing space pancake from the lockers, but they don't. They just are like, okay, see you later.
It's like character development for the space egg.
Yeah, it's just to establish that people think it's pretty, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's so obvious by the end of the episode what is causing the problem. It's like, the show is all written to coalesce in that moment. It's like, as soon as Quark has the bidding up to 1 million from Q, who, you know, is like...
he's not good for it.
He's not good for it, no. I mean, I guess he's more good for it than other people because he can fabricate it out of nothing.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just obvious that the crew is going to come down and steal it. It's so obvious.
Yeah. But they handle it well.
Yeah.
This has a lot of the like classic flaws of Star Trek, but also is still a thoroughly enjoyable regular Star Trek episode.
And I have to be totally honest and say that the moment where the space egg hatches and turns into a creature that then goes back to the wormhole, I did not see it coming, and I was a little bit moved by it.
Oh, nice.
I was like, wow, that's amazing.
See,
it's a creature. It's a space egg creature. That's so cool.
I didn't see it coming, and I like gasped out loud the first time I saw it. And I've seen this episode now like a couple of times, and I still forget, like, oh right, it's the glowing space pancake.
Right, I forgot. I forgot.
This time I watched it and I was ready for it to like, oh, the thing to explode, and then it's like, blomp.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? What the? Well, okay, we're already at 12 space mushrooms, so
I love it.
Why not? Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I also love that it kind of harkens back to Farpoint and to Tin Man a little bit. Like, I like these creatures that exist in space.
I love the
Space Manta Ray! Yeah, totally.
I love the idea of creatures in space that just live like
I love it. Yeah, I want to see a creature that follows a Starfleet vessel that is in Starfleet.
Don't they do that in Voyager where they have the one that's like nursing? Or is that in TNG? Where they have the spaceship?
I mean one that like goes to Starfleet Academy. Oh, like
it's a space Manta
with
like a massive
combat.
Boop, boop, where are you? I'm in space!
I'm in space! I'm always in space! And he has like, but you can understand him through the universal translator, and he's just like an obnoxious teenager. He's like, God damn it, I'm in space!
It's Star Trek, you don't even need to explain it, it just speaks English.
It works.
And everyone's fine with it.
I think it works, yeah. I really want that. I love that moment of this episode. This episode is heartwarming and fun.
Yeah.
But I do think that it damages Deep Space Nine as a show.
Absolutely.
I think that it
has no purpose. It doesn't belong.
It doesn't belong. I think they went way out of their way when they premiered Next Generation to not lean on the original series and to like stand on their own 2 feet.
Right.
And really like establish character and establish the show by itself. And I feel like that's the biggest flaw in season 1 of DS9 is that they really lean on what came before.
Yeah.
They have
to its detriment.
Yeah, they have ridiculous callbacks to TNG that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like they do this throughout the rest of Star Trek until you get to Discovery.
Which does it the right way, and it just tries to establish itself.
Star Trek just throws away the canon and just does whatever the fuck they want.
You can't have it both ways, Jesse.
Yeah, heartwarming except abusive relationship. That's true.
Yeah. That's so much of like early Star Trek is that. It's like, well, if you just ignore the gross misogyny, it's a decent episode.
Star Trek tries to be a social justice warrior and gets it right a lot, but they really drop the ball on feminism sometimes. Yeah,
and then when you start to drill in
by horny dudes.
Yeah. When you get into the specifics of the relationships, you can see like, oh, some of these people just aren't good at portraying this, or it's like the inherent problem with a lot of romantic comedies where as you get older, or hopefully you become more aware, you realize that this kind of behavior is just straight out creepy, but that we as a culture continually churn it out as charming, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's not it can be charming for a male character to pine after a female character, to like have love at first sight, and the female character doesn't necessarily return that.
Right.
And they almost do that with Julian towards Jadzia, but it's undercut by him hitting on everyone, because then it doesn't feel like it's individual to Jadzia. It's just like he's not interested in her because of who she is. He's interested in her because he likes hooking up with ladies who are pretty.
Well, and he doesn't respect boundaries. They make that clear. Again, I will go back to it, is that the scene with him and Vosh is just a massive Federation HR violation proof right there. If Vosh wanted to, that could have been a big deal.
Right. But yeah, I mean...
But see, now Vosh strikes me as someone who has decided, like, hey, I'm used to this fucking weird, creepy male energy I get. I am just gonna use this to my advantage,
Right. Yeah, I feel like the reason to... A reason to bring Q in is to compare and contrast him with Captain Picard. Which they tried to do a little bit in this episode, but I feel like all they really do is prove that Sisko has a temper issue.
Yeah.
And both of these episodes deal with that, where... When, in the next episode when Dax refuses to defend herself,
right?
Like, Sisko physically assalts the wall.
Yeah.
Like, he gets so mad he punches the wall. Yeah, if you were a man, I'd punch you. Yeah.
And you know what they say about wall punchers?
What do they say?
Oh, you're supposed to break up with somebody if they're a wall puncher.
Oh.
Because they will punch you.
Yeah. I have only, like, punched a wall in anger, like, twice in my... One time I slammed a window in anger... when I was a teenager.
Wall puncher.
And I broke the window.
Oh, teenager, you're fine.
I was like trying to like close a window and I couldn't do it. I'm like, fuck, and I broke it accidentally.
Yeah. You weren't like mad at a person and then hit the wall because you couldn't punch them.
Well, I was really angry. I was in trouble for something that I didn't think was fair, and I was mad. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, it's interesting that Q says, you are easier to provoke than Picard.
Yeah.
And the things that make Sisko solid and a good commander are not necessarily on display in these episodes this week.
Not this week, no.
Yeah, he seems like a bad commander this week. He's like quick to anger, and he's also very rash with his decisions. Like, what he does that's good is that when he makes a decision, he just like follows it blindly and goes for it. But like when people are throwing out ideas on the bridge, he's like, "We could try this." He's like, "Do it. It's our only choice."
Yeah. Is it?
He doesn't.
I've heard one choice.
Yeah, he doesn't even stop to consult with anyone else.
Yeah.
He doesn't. And I wonder if he knows if it's the right thing to do, or if he's just guessing because the person tells him it's the right thing to do.
Right.
So I feel like bringing Q in, comparing him to Picard, he kind of comes up wanting a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that because the characters are not as well fleshed out, like Q and Vash are like almost more well fleshed out characters than the crew in this episode.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like
because they've been fleshed out before.
Right, totally. It makes it feel like why does this show exist? Like why did we spin off this show?
Right.
Why did we spin off Next Generation into Deep Space Nine?
We could have kept making Next Generation.
Deep Space Nine? Why is Deep Space Nine?
Why is Deep Space Nine?
And the answer in this episode is because of Next Generation, like not because of anything that this show has to do on its own.
Right.
You think Sisko is a more masculine type of man captain than Picard?
100%.
Interesting.
No, that's
you think
true.
so too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
More masculine.
I think it's very. See, I think that's another thing about the characterization of Sisko is intentionally that where Picard was the flip of someone like Kirk. And that was a very specific, because Kirk is, honestly a liar. All of his logs are falsified. Most of it is just him self-aggrandizing. I'm going around and I'm fucking all these space ladies and I'm punching aliens and I'm beaming down to the planet and I might as well be pushing my own ship out of orbit, whatever. Kirk.
Right.
And then Picard is like, oh, you know what? Now that we think about it, probably in the future they'd have someone who is a little more reasonable, less quick with the fisticuffs and the zipping of his pants off. Picard was made to be, I guess you would say, a more enlightened version of a starship captain. But a lot of the pushback against him was that, like, and you still see arguments like this, like, Picard is weak, Picard is this and that, Kirk is a take-action man. And so I think Sisko is an intentional, like, okay, let's kind of split the difference, How about somebody that is, has the machismo and sort of a physicality in a very classic maleness of our culture, but still like a thoughtful person, not a, not
a Lothario.
Not a Lothario.
He's not that at all.
Yeah, and Kirk is a Yeah, I mean, it's a product of his time. That was what male heroes were in the '60s, and now I think it's laughable. I mean, it's hard to not laugh at what Kirk does. Watching it now,
the original series has not aged gracefully at this point.
We're now like TNG has problems when you watch some of their episodes. Deep Space Nine does, but nothing.
They've aged gracefully in certain ways.
Picard still is like, yeah, okay, if we were on a spaceship and meeting these aliens, he's probably somebody who I'd want to have in charge. And Sisko, it's like, yeah, okay, Sisko seems like the kind of person the Federation would want to be doing this job. Kirk is like, no, they would definitely not be putting people like that in charge of fucking spaceships.
Right. Yeah, I struggle a little bit with Sisko in these episodes, because he is like, at his core, he's a family man, and he like wants to protect his kid. And there's something like really noble about Sisko and thoughtful. I think thoughtful is a good word for him. But yeah, his anger issues seem to cloud his judgment a little bit, and especially in these 2 episodes.
Yes.
And it makes you question his command decisions, for me, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we get more into that with Sisko as time goes by, because he does switch from being this kind of angry firebrand to the more religious, when he gets more into being the emissary and
when he shaves his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has this like cold, cool, like command style later. Like when we get into more war stuff in the show, he's much more a man that you'd be comfortable following. But it's interesting. It takes him. I mean, he's a commander. He's not a captain yet. He's not quite there yet. And I actually think that's kind of cool to have this leader need some growth as a leader, and he gets there for sure. I mean, he becomes amazing later on.
Ashen Knight makes a good point about what comes later with the Eddington, where he
I love that arc. I love that arc.
They show Sisko getting obsessed with capturing this guy,
right,
no matter what, but that I don't think is a defining part of Sisko. I think that's more of like, let's highlight one of his flaws in a big way, but it's not his day-to-day operation.
He's an excellent combat officer, not so good administrator. I think that's true. I think that's true with Talkie. I think that when he's in a combat situation, his ability to just make a decision and to follow it is so important. And I think that he makes faster decisions than Picard does.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're as weighed out. I don't know if he's thought them through as well, but he seems to be very instinctual and make quick decisions and then just go.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
It's something that they don't address in Deep Space Nine ever, and I feel like it's a shortcoming, but you wave it away, which is, why would they get this guy or any captain from there or commander from their system to run the space mall? This would just 100% be an administrative job. There's people who probably go to the Academy space mall management classes and have all of this shit locked down,
Yeah, totally.
This can't be anything.
How did he get
He has
this
nothing
job
on his resume that looks like, yes, I can run a space mall parking lot, whatever you want to call Deep Space Nine.
Hey, what's up, Quiet the Snapper? Welcome.
And clearly they have other stations.
Although, wait, but he was working on Utopia Planitia for a couple years, so maybe he was an administrator there.
Was he? Oh.
I'm not sure, though. They don't really say what his job was there.
Time to delve into canon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love Sisko as a character, and I'm feeling like a lot of the characters are a little bit poorly drawn out in first season. I feel like Sisko more so than some of the others.
You're saying that the first seasons of Star Trek shows tend to be a little weaker than what comes later.
Yeah, I definitely
I can't wait till Discovery is your favorite Star Trek.
I hope that's true. I would love that.
Amanda asked, are there a lot of space malls? There's at least 9.
Yeah, there's at least 9.
No Jake.
No Jake in either episode. That's right.
No Jake, and then O'Brien was in this one. It's the next one where O'Brien just fucks off.
Right. Oh yeah. He developed all the anti-Borg ships. That's right. Oh, that's what he was doing at Utopia Planitia, isn't it?
Oh.
Working on anti-Borg technology.
Makes sense. He's pissed at the Borg.
Yeah. Well, should we get into our voting for this episode?
Yeah.
I forgot to open this up.
Okay. Let me look at my notes to see if I got other complaints about it.
Cool. All right, I'm pulling up our spreadsheet. Oh, and I got to pull up the poll. Strawpoll.com. Okay, so we're gonna start with the rating. So 1 to 10.
Oh, the other thing I wrote down is they have a scene of Vash where it is literally 1, 2, 3 men in a row who all want something from her. 2 explicitly to get into her pants. 1 just to control her life, where it's the Bashir, Quark, and Q all come to her quarters one after the other.
Oh, that's right. And that scene is really interesting because it's like in her quarters for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's actually a well-written scene where they kind of get it. They get a lot of bang for their buck.
And the banter between Q and Vash there is the one that made me think of kind of like a old school romantic comedy dynamic.
Yeah.
And why it's platonic and not space wizard sex relationship.
Yeah, I think that...
Which we know is just this.
What's happening there?
That's when...
Was that 2 penises touching?
No, that's how Qs have sex.
But with their fingers?
Do you not watch Voyager?
Oh, I blocked it from my memory.
Well, we'll get to that eventually, too.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm setting up our thing here, QLS
What
and
kind of torture would that
Dax.
be for you, where you have to watch 2 episodes of Voyager, and then we'd have to talk about them?
Not as much torture if I had to rewatch Season 1 of Discovery.
Ooh, we'll get there. Let's wait till there's 2 seasons, though.
Yeah.
Voyager would be fun because I would just switch and just try to defend every episode of Voyager.
Voyager, I like a lot of Voyager, but, like...
It's very well hated among...
Overall, it's my least favorite Star Trek,
fair.
Besides Discovery, which is my least favorite. His job was to make sure the Bajorans were ready to join the Federation. Totally, yeah. Yeah, Discovery killed the good characters already. It's gross. It's horrible. Okay, guys, here is our poll. That's not the poll. What the fuck? What is that? What did I just copy accidentally? Oh, that was like fixing the poll. Okay. Well, let me delete that comment. Okay, there's our poll. So we're rating this 1 to 10. Doug, what do you say?
Oh boy. I'm gonna give it, I think, like a 6.5. 6 bars, 5 strips.
5 strips?
Yeah. It's tough. I want to give it more because I really like Vash. I love the characterization. You really have to dig deep, I think, to find well-done female characters in a lot of Star Trek. So having a recurring, not recurring, but a repeat character come back is great, but ultimately, it like you were saying, it just feels like it doesn't belong. And, yeah, the shoehorning Q into the Deep Space Nine stuff, the kind of, the gross treatment that Vash gets and the grossness of Bashir, all those things make it hard for me to like it more than I would want to.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's tough because, like, when I think back on this episode, I'm like, it wasn't very good. But as I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it. It's like television that I like watching. It's tough because I gotta recognize that.
Yeah.
I feel like as an episode itself, it's like a 5.
Right. Yeah.
But because I enjoy it so much, I gotta give it more. And I love the birthing of the space creature at the end. It's a very special moment. I wish that there'd been more wonder on the faces of the people watching, because that's like a beautiful, wonderful moment. But fuck, what do I give it? You gave it a 6.5?
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I feel like I'm also pulling that number out of my ass.
Yeah, I'm feeling like 6 or 6.5 is about right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gave the one with Ibudan's clone a 5.
Oh, you're looking back? I can't look back at my numbers. I just have to go blindly forward.
I gave Babel a 6.5. See, I feel like Babel, I think, is slightly better than this episode.
If I start looking back, I will just renegotiate all of my votes.
I'm gonna give this one a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. I think there's a lot going against it, but a good amount of stuff going for it.
Yeah.
Let's see what chat says. Wow, so far chat has given this an 8. Guys, click that link and vote. We got 1 vote so far. Click that link.
8 it is. Amanda loves it.
I think, no, that can't have been Amanda. Amanda's not wild about this episode. We need at least 1 more vote, you guys.
Someone drag that average down.
Click that link in chat.
Do you have to wait for that one to finish before you can make the next one?
No.
We'll give them
I'm gonna start tonight. Yeah, so
give them a chance to
click that link, vote on what you give this episode, I'll get the next one started. So we need to nominate people for best, or for favorite character.
Favorite character.
Who do we nominate for favorite character? Okay, I gotta put in Vosh, and I gotta put in Q.
Yeah.
I think that we need to put in the dude, the assayer's office. Yeah. What is that character's name?
I would just say the assayer.
I actually left this up.
Oh, so you could look it up.
A Bajoran clerk in charge of the assay. It's literally called Bajoran clerk.
Bajoran clerk.
Okay, let's put Bajoran clerk on here. I'm gonna put Cisco on here for favorite character. I'm gonna put Quark on here.
Yeah, Quark had some stuff going on. That's good. If anyone else wants to nominate, they can. See, Amanda gave.
Oh, Amanda did an 8. Okay, okay. Cisco we nominated. Great. So that was Amanda's vote.
Yeah.
Well, I feel okay. There we go.
7. Okay.
So we got 2 8s and a 7. So wait, what's the math? Doug's our math man.
Math man.
Math man. I think this is good. Favorite character we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
7.6 comes out.
7.6. Nice. All right. Well done, chat. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Everyone get space cookies. I have no idea how our chat economy works.
I feel like space cookies is good.
Can we bribe people to vote?
You can't vote for some reason. Oh no. Okay, well try this one. Try this one, Midwest. So this poll is for favorite character. Favorite character in this episode. What do you think?
No, you first. I'm still thinking.
Me first? Okay. So for me, it's between the clerk and Quark. Because I really enjoy what Quark does in this episode, and I'm actually having a hard time distinguishing favorite character and best performance in this episode.
Me too.
Because
that's what I've been mulling.
Yeah, because favorite character and best performance. Best performance, like Quark's moment where he like touches his ear,
like that,
is it's such a good acting choice.
Yeah,
it's like a really brilliant moment.
Yeah.
But that clerk just like takes nothing and makes so much out of it.
So that's what I've now. That's Vosh is my favorite character, but the guy is my favorite performer because. The character of the assayer isn't really anything, but the actor, the choices that he makes is what makes that a great scene. So that's why he gets the performance. Vosh is a great the actor playing Vosh is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
But she doesn't bring that much. She doesn't take like dead material and bring it to life. She's actually got a pretty good part where it would be almost like it would be hers to lose in the sense of. You could only fuck that up because it's pretty decent for women in Star Trek, you know.
Yeah.
But the character, I love Vosh, and if the assayer wasn't in here and didn't do such a good job breathing life into dead embers, then I would have given her both.
Yeah. Vash is a really great character. For me in this episode, because of the awkward way in which she's used to shoehorn in Q, I don't leave this episode wanting more Vash, you know?
I do.
Yeah, I mean...
Where's her big bag going next?
Like, I always wanted more Vash after her stuff with Picard.
I would watch a Vash series.
Wait, you can't vote on the poll? Why not? That's the second person who says they can't vote. Well, some people have voted. Why can't you vote on the poll? Try again. Here.
It's not you.
It's not me? Oh. Voting worked for you. Okay.
Okay. Well, Amanda's voting for Vosh.
It's because you're on the same Chromecast. Okay. Oh, wait. Midwest Tempest is that Andy? I forgot that, if that's true. Well, in that case, I can vote for you guys, because I'm not voting, so...
What do you mean you're not? Oh, right, we don't put our votes in here.
Yeah, so... Amanda, I can vote for you. So, Amanda, you said Vosh?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a vote for Vosh for favorite character. So yeah, oh my god, we have a 4-way tie. We have a 4-way tie. We need another vote, you guys. Okay.
If someone else doesn't vote, we're gonna just write everyone.
Yeah. We'll just write everyone.
The chat. Who did the chat choose? Everyone. That's the placeholder.
This is tough. From favorite character and best performance.
Yeah. It's interesting for an episode that's not that well rated by us. We're struggling.
Yeah. It's so I think that I have to go with my favorite character, I think, is the Bajoran clerk.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
And I want him to be back in every episode.
Yeah.
I want him to have to weigh the value of items in every episode. Okay, I'm going Bajoran clerk.
See, this is... Deep Space Nine could have had more Vosh going to the Gamma Quadrant, raiding ancient cultures for their precious valuables, and then checking them into the assayer's office, and I would watch the shit out of that show.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a great show. Okay, Atalki, did you vote in the... Oh, you must not have voted, because then we should have 2 for Vosh. View results. We're still at a 4-way tie. Atalki, you did not vote, but you're voting for Vosh. Okay, yeah. that makes Vosh the winner.
Yay, Vosh! Vosh, Vosh, Vosh.
Okay.
Is this me actually in accordance with the...
Okay, now we gotta go best... Oh, wait, yeah, you're right there with them.
Hey!
Okay, now we're going for best performance.
This also helps that I didn't, like, nominate an inanimate object or something.
Best performance, I am nominating the space whale. The space manta ray. No, I'm just kidding. Best performance, I have to nominate Bajoran clerk.
Right.
I have to nominate Quark.
Right.
But let's put Vosh and Q in there.
Q, yep.
Anyone else for best performance, you guys?
I don't think who else stood out.
I mean, Cisco, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. It was a very light Cisco episode.
But watching him punch Q is very satisfying.
Yeah.
Best performance. I'm gonna put Bashir in here just to see if anyone's wrong.
I do want to ban people, so...
Yeah, we'll ban anyone who votes for Bashir.
No, don't say that, because that's just going to make people vote for him.
I know, I'm totally kidding.
Can we hand out our space cookies when people vote?
There's the poll.
Can we bribe people to vote? Like,
I now want to change our currency to space cookies, because that's really good.
I forget what they're called.
Power crystals.
Can we bribe people with power crystals to vote?
Oh, sure.
Or just, can we reward people like, hey, if you vote, you get power crystals?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know how again, I've said it 100 times. I don't know how the economy works. I don't know how money works.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's all made up.
It's all made up? Okay.
Just like the real economy. Okay, Amanda, 1 vote for the clerk from Amanda.
I just want to help encourage people to, vote.
Okay, what do we think? Best performance. You already said Van Epperson. That's the clerk.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Armin Shimmerman with this on this one.
Yeah,
which is Quark.
Like his ear touching.
His ear touching is so good. His like unbridled greed is kind of incredible. Gold pressed latinum cookies. There you go. That's what it should be. Yeah, Quark is nailing it in this episode. Like he's got that character already.
Yeah, he's one of the.
Hey, Team Aeon. We're voting for the best performance in Q-less. And there's a link that you can click right there if you want to vote.
Aeon is saying it's Renee.
Renee every time.
Auberjohn's.
Well, unfortunately, he's not on this list.
He didn't really...
He wasn't really in this episode much, but he's in the next one a ton.
Yeah, enough to get voted on for sure.
Well, we got Bajoran Clerk.
Yeah.
I see 1 vote. No, here we go. A vote for Q also. Damn it, now we're tied.
Now we need the tiebreaker.
All right, guys.
For reasons.
Who wants to be our tiebreaker? John gives good hugs? Which John? John Delancey?
Oh.
I know you've met a bunch of these dudes. I saw pictures of you with Tom Hiddleston. At cons and stuff.
Oh. Clerk and Q.
Clerk and Q. Who wants to be our tiebreaker?
I will.
You and Doug both voted clerk.
Amanda,
Did Andy vote? Yeah, I saw your Hiddleston picture. Where was that?
And we would have a 3-way tie if we let you vote for.
Yeah, we'd have a 3-way tie. We'd be more fucked.
Oh, unless you're voting for Q instead of Odo, but we'd still be at a tie.
I'm surprised that Vash didn't get any votes.
Yeah. All right, fine. Chat can't make up its mind.
Chat can't make up its mind. Well, let's just say the winner is Bajoran Q. If we don't have a winner, we have to combine the characters into a made-up name. Okay.
Ooh, I wonder if when they combine together, they have the memory and personality of each of them, or if they meld together into a new thing.
Well, we will discuss
this
in great detail after the break. All right, y'all.
Do you like my forced tie-in?
We'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for hanging with us. This is a blast, as always. We'll be back in a few. Whee! Okay, now we're off screen, and now I push this button.
Oh, I'm so bad about that. Like, as soon as I say the word break, I'm out of my...
You're like, I'm on break. I'm back. And Doug's right behind me. Dude, we need to make Command Dabo a real thing in this chat. I love that.
I also like Alan Moraine, once I know.
Oh, Alan Moraine, that's coming up next week.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That's
we can't
be the biggest pile of dog shit.
We can't talk about it now because I'll go on and on for hours.
Absolutely.
We have to.
It's too big of a.
We have to hold on to it. Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah, I need to get those. Pull up those memes.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that now. I got us going live, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone.
Wait, what's that noise?
Oh. It's my phone.
Oh, okay. I thought I was hearing something coming through the headphones over here. What am I doing?
Pulling up those memes.
Oh my god, I love this one. This one's so good.
Cisco, yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the fence about it because it's almost like it was almost too easy.
Yeah.
But
sometimes easy is good.
Yeah. This is just
oh my god,
being argumentative about canon.
That's really funny.
How can
I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, you have. That's the host.
Oh, I mean this meme.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait, let's just do these now. I'm gonna pull it up.
So,
add source, media file, downloads.
And if you want to see these and more like it, follow us on Instagram. I'll put up all of my Star Trek shit posting. So yes, let's start with that one.
Okay. When you're a space wizard, but you're not sorry because he straight up asked for it.
Yeah.
This is the face you make.
Which is great. I mean, he does it. This captures it well, but not quite well enough because he does it as like a double.
It's such a good face that he makes.
You punched me. It's so good. You literally asked me to punch you.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next,
this is a great introduction to the episode.
Yes.
This sums up my feelings about this episode.
I went right on your head. I didn't even put it there.
When did this become triller than this?
This is referring to the episode of Next Generation where we meet the Trill
host, which is kind of a garbage episode.
Yeah, it is I did not.
Yeah.
I talked about that on my podcast and kind of like went off on it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. It
frustrates me.
It'll come up because I will definitely lean heavily on the host for here.
Yeah.
Of the changes to the Trill. All right, we're getting into it.
For anyone who doesn't remember, in the host, there's this guy that comes on the Enterprise in Next Generation.
Odon.
And the host is dying, but before he's dying, he falls in love with Crusher.
Mm-hmm.
So they put the Trill into a new host, which happens to be Commander Riker,
right.
and then Riker and Crusher have a relationship with this host. But in this episode, they basically say that
doesn't happen.
that Riker is gone. That there's no Riker. It's just the Trill.
Just Odon.
Yeah, and then in the end, the Trill ends up going into a female Trill, and Crusher's like, "I'm out."
Forget it, right?
And it kind of makes me mad because I'm like, if you really love this person, why would it matter to you that it's a woman?
Yeah, and I did just watch that in preparation for watching this one. Yeah, and she specifically says something like, maybe at some point in the future, we'll be able to get past these parochial ideals. It's like, just do it now. What are you doing?
It's very frustrating. It kind of sets the show back as far as its acceptance of, like queer identities and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I scoot you back a little bit?
Yeah.
We've lost your head on the top of the screen. And
I probably moved it when I was trying to get out of here. I'm very clumsy in my physical meat space.
Meat space?
Meat space.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's get into Dax. Season 1, Episode 7.
Yep.
Dax Deep Space Nine.
Kidnapped by people who want Jadzia Dax to go on trial for a crime that her previous host, Curzon Dax, may or may not have committed on another planet. And then the episode is split between Space Court and Odo lightly investigating a 30-year-old murder.
Right. And I feel like this is one of the first times where Odo's character is used properly.
Yes. Yeah.
He is a detective.
Right.
He's basically like Space Mall Batman. And he would be
patrolling the mean streets of the Space Mall.
He'd be such a good Batman.
Slow down, you kids.
Can you imagine Odo as Batman?
Don't make me throw a shifterang at you.
A shifterang?
It's really just part of his hand.
It's just a piece of Odo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Odo man.
But he's basically Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Highlight of beginning of episode, Bashir knocking himself out while trying to rescue Dax. Okay, let's talk about the beginning of this episode. Because
this episode, it's terrible.
2 episodes in a row, it starts with Dr. Bashir at Quark's making goo-goo eyes at a woman that he's trying to sleep with.
Yes.
2 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
But this is the 3rd woman in 2 episodes that Bashir has tried to sleep with.
And the another boundary crossing, this time not a professional boundary like he did with Vosh, but an explicit boundary set up by Dax when they're talking and she's not paying attention. She's reading some science stuff. And then he's like, "Ooh, I'd really like to spend some time with you. How about we spend some time together?" She's like, "No." And then she's like, "I'm going to leave." And he's like, "Let me walk you to your quarters." And she's like, "No, I'm fine." And then she walks, and then he says, "Ooh, but maybe I will do exactly what you told me not to do anyways." And follows her. Like, come on.
And did you think if a handful of peanuts told Dr. Bashir no that he'd listen? Because I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, she says no, and he's like, well, maybe that's a maybe.
Yeah.
And he follows her back to her quarters. And then he makes a ridiculous mistake, which is he sees people kidnapping his friend on a space station, and he does not open his comm badge. To like call ops.
Right.
He just tries to tackle somebody.
Charges in with a classic double fister.
The Starfleet double fister.
And then knocks himself out on the bulkhead.
Yeah, he knocks himself out. Totally. He like runs and because of that, these people almost get away with Dax. Like he should have called ops. He should call Cisco. He should call fucking security.
All kinds of things should have been
like immediately security alert on whatever deck he's on. He does everything wrong. But I have to say that for where this episode is going, as far as like these people trying to extradite Dax, this is a really fun way to start the episode.
Oh, the chase, basically this starts a chase, which is a great I like the cold open leads into this chase, and the whole chase sequence of them trying to get these assholes and using the space station like, well, we can shut this down and we can put this up, and they're like, yeah, but they've got a thing that lets them get past that.
It's great.
It seems like awesome. It would be terrible, but they do. It's paced so really well. Yeah,
and the best part about it is that there's a couple things that kind of snagged my logic button in my brain.
Sure.
I'm like, this doesn't make sense. They addressed all of them in the episode.
They do, right. The one thing is, so once again, I feel like transporters could magically be used to solve this problem.
Sure.
Because they make it like we can't transport people when they don't have comm badges, but they totally transport people without comm badges all the time.
Well, I think they can transport them, but they can't track them. I think that they don't know. Like, if they could have like 2 biosignatures in one room, they could transport both those people up. That's why Kira calls that dude before she beams him up, because she knows there's someone there. She wants to make sure it's him.
Well, like, okay.
But once like Dax is taken and she's like among all the crowd on Space Mall, like they can't beam her anymore.
Right, but there is a point where they isolate them in one section because they're like, they're going here. Put up this force field here. Bajoom, bajoom. Okay, they're trapped in this box.
They could definitely beam them out.
Let's just beam what if there's no one in there? Who cares? Just beam what if it's a random person? Who cares? Beam them all to ops, because that's the safest place to beam people.
Hold them in
beam them straight to jail.
Yeah, beam them to jail. You can like beam them and hold them in the field, like hold them in the buffer, the transporter buffer for a second.
Deep Space Nine needs a button in ops that is just beam to jail.
Yes, totally.
But anyways,
do not pass go.
That aside, we've already mentioned
do not collect 200 bars of gold press.
Deep Space Nine is very blind to their transporters.
Right.
But it was still an exciting, and like you said, they do bring up all of these. What if we do this? Well, they have a thing against that. What if we do this? They have a thing against that.
Right.
It's technobabble solved really rapid fire.
Yeah, there was 2 things specifically that I noticed. I don't remember what the second one was. One of them was that, like when they were making their escape and they opened up the conduits and like disable the force fields.
Yes.
Like, they know how to do that. And I'm like, how do they know how to do that?
Right.
But then later in the episode, they specifically say this is how they knew how to do that because they're in cahoots with the Cardassians, and that annoys the Bajorans.
Yes.
In that great moment with Kira where she's like, and it annoys us.
Yeah, this is a good example of how you can have the tight writing where the problems all kind of flow naturally and the solutions flow naturally.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. Yeah, the technobabble is all backed up by something else that happens in the episode, in this episode, which is a change that's really nice to see, because I feel like oftentimes they're just like, put the thing in the thing and then do this and then that happens. I'm like, just beam them out, you know?
And they could have totally said, I can't get a lock on them. That's all you have to do. Anytime there's a problem, someone has to go, I can't get a lock on them. Boom, we're back into solving it however you want to solve it.
Yeah, I think this is actually a really well-written episode in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
Like, towards the end of the episode, when you find out that the guy who was, like, the military leader was the guy who sold out his own people.
Right.
That piece of information, like, clicks into place. Everything else that happens.
It all makes sense.
And it all works.
Yep.
And I went back and rewatched most of this episode a second time after that. And, like, it all tracks. Like, it all makes sense. Yeah, I'm having trouble logging other signals. Exactly.
Right, that's all you need.
That's all you need to do.
And the reverse of that is in Voyager when B'Elanna gets a skeletal lock on people. It's one of my favorite Star Trek. They use it just that one time.
A skeletal lock? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we watch Voyager.
Oh, God. Yeah, so I love the whole chase in the beginning. I think they do a... Oh, that's something else that I was... The other thing that I was thinking is that, like, they needed an action beat in the beginning, and they kind of fabricate one.
Yes.
But then I was thinking to myself, like, why didn't they just ask Cisco? Just ask Cisco to take her. That's the other thing that's driving me crazy.
Right.
But then they specifically said, I think I know why you didn't ask me. Right as I was thinking that to myself. I'm like, oh, what is it? But then the answer was great. It's because you don't have an extradition treaty with Bajor.
Right. It flows. It's a puzzle that's put together with logical pieces. There's like a couple of pieces missing early that get filled in, and then there's the huge thing that is the conclusion of the episode that then fills in the rest, and it is well structured.
And it works. It's well put together. It's like thoughtfully arranged as an episode.
There's one huge gap that I have.
Hey, what's up?
I'm okay with it.
Figgity biggity. I don't know.
Cuties.
Does the fight choreography get better? Oh my god. When you get to... Well, the hand-to-hand fight choreography, no. But the space fighting is incredible in this show. Like, the dog fights, like, the big battles that happen later on in the show are mind-blowingly good. Yeah. In my memory. I mean, I haven't seen this in 10 years, so... We'll see. All
of Star Trek fist fighting is bam 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 bam.
Do you remember in Cable Guy when they sing that music from that moment?
No.
They like recreate that fight to the death between Kirk and Spock, and he sings that music, and it's so great. I went back. I'd never seen the episode at that point when I saw Cable Guy as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I watched the episode, and it's like dun dun da 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 da. It's so good.
It's
no, we don't take musical requests, but we do randomly sing. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. Look, he spelled out that noise. Yeah, that's really good. Great episode. Love the moral conundrum of Dax's character being a different person.
Yes.
Before, when the symbiote... Yeah, okay, totally.
Yeah,
so
that's the core of the episode.
That's brilliant about this episode is that the whole thing is an excuse to tell us how Trill works.
It's exposition, but it's exposition dressed up as a trial.
Totally.
Where you're basically interrogating the premise.
Exposition. It's so elegantly done.
And the characters that do it, the Arbiter, that woman is a great character.
The Arbiter.
Yeah.
I gotta pull up a picture of the Arbiter.
I want all you assholes to know that I'm 100 years old and I'm not gonna take any guff from no one.
Yeah. I've got it right here, actually. Oh my god, okay. Yeah. Save image as... Arbiter. And let me pull this up. I know this is clunky, but we have to do it.
Yeah.
Because she deserves to be recognized.
Absolutely.
What did I just save it as?
Arbiter.
Where did I save it, though? There it is. Okay, this lady.
Yeah.
She's going to live here in her place of honor for the rest of the stream.
She's like a classic character actor. She's got to have been in a bunch of other shit.
She was the Uxbridge lady in TNG.
Okay.
Yeah, remember that episode where there was like the Uxbridge couple who were living on the planet when all the rest of the planet was destroyed?
Okay.
The husband and wife. Yeah, she was the wife. She's from Mrs. Doubtfire.
I can
Mrs.
see that.
Doubtfire's parole agent.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about how miraculous she is for a second? Because she walks in, and the first thing she says is like this long-winded speech about how she wants this to be done before dinner, not before she's senile.
Yeah.
But then continues to set
2 hour delay.
So long.
1 hour delay.
Yeah, she's like, I want this to be over immediately. We're taking a 2 hour break. And then they come back and she's like, you need to get your shit together and I want to get home, so we're taking another hour break. She's like literally sets 3 hours of breaks throughout a 42-minute episode of Star Trek.
Joke's on you, assholes. I'm already senile.
Yeah. Like I feel that's the one thing that doesn't make sense, because they needed to give Odo more time on the planet that he went to examine what's happening.
That he functionally teleported there, by the way.
Yeah, they needed to stretch out how long this,
this
arbitration was taking, so they had the arbiter randomly assign super long breaks. They must be really close, because he got there in like 15 minutes.
It's basically Sisko goes, Odo, I want you to go look at the planet. And Odo's like, great. Sisko, there's a call coming in. It's Odo. He's on the planet. Holy shit,
it's because it's fucking Batman, dude. Bruce Wayne could get that shit done. Bruce Wayne can be from the Batcave to downtown Gotham in 4 minutes, and I don't know how he does it.
A lot of that is efficient driving, just knowing you having like ways for Gotham. And,
I think that he has like used his Bruce Wayne money to build tunnels like under the city.
Why not?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there was something about that in one of the books I read. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he's Batman. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. So, yeah, this character is incredible. Like, there's so much more character in the Arbiter than there needs to be. It's kind of like the Assayer in the last episode.
I think though that this character is written well and performed well. And
yes,
that
is a distinction.
Yeah, and that's a rarity not in Star Trek. That's a rarity in all shows and movies. This is written well, performed well. The Assayer was written. There's nothing there.
And it was performed incredible.
Performed great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the creepy calm acting from Sisko while he figures out how to fix the station so they can use a tractor beam?
Yeah.
He was very strange in that scene.
But I liked it. That was a part of the snappiness of that, where Sisko was mostly out of it, and he's kind of letting the staff take care of all of this stuff, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's that thing where he's like, you tell me what to do, decisions made, go.
I'm gonna, basically, I'm here to blank check everything you're doing and act as a cheerleader and sort of a taskmaster, like, we have to save Dax.
Right, totally.
But it's great, that's good leadership.
Yeah, which makes me think about how this episode really helped to define the relationship between Curzon Dax and Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah. It addresses so much. It shows more of how the relationship explicitly between the Federation and the Bajorans work. You know?
Yeah, this gives so much background to the story that they're telling. Background to the pilot episode, paying off the pilot episode, saying like, what does it mean to be a joined Trill who was friends with someone and is now friends with that person as a different host? Like, what is that? This episode is all about that, like from beginning to end. This showcases strengths of Star Trek.
And the promise of this series, again, showing what it can be.
Yeah, totally.
Because there is more, they do a deeper dive into it, and I think I'm a little disappointed by the end. I think that we're completely, the biggest elephant in the room is the ending, and then the thing that I think is the big gap in all of this. But that aside, structurally, it's done so well.
Dude, Kevin Hope is here. What's up, Kevin?
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin is my friend in real life as well.
Cisco didn't.
Kevin's been on my podcast.
Oh.
On maybe my favorite episode ever. Yeah, he's a great dude, and he really likes Babylon 5, and he's been listening. He's listened to our episodes.
I hope he likes Discovery.
Actually, he did a supplemental episode about Babylon 5. LGB Trek, that's what it was called. Yeah.
Nice.
That might be my favorite episode of that show.
Quite the snapper asked, did the Bajorans have contempt for the Federation?
It's like a weird
Some
situation.
do, some don't.
Some do, some don't,
This is another thing that's not often done in Star Trek, but they actually show, hey, you know, everyone on this planet doesn't think the same way.
Yeah, the provisional government is, like, questioned constantly.
Right, and then they show there's rebels to the provisional government, there's people who are kind of on board, there's people who are definitely not, but normally they're like, this is the way the Klingons want things. All of the Klingons, apparently. This is the way the Cardassians want things.
Yeah.
It's only Deep Space Nine itself that starts to get into these more nuanced versions of the governments of the other races, species, and then also how those governments interact with each other.
Totally. Yeah, and getting some more background information on Curzon Dax was interesting because getting to the gray areas of Deep Space Nine, they kind of talk about how he was not an ideal Trill. I mean, he was having an affair with his friend's wife.
Yeah.
And he was friends with a guy who was maybe kind of like an evil dictator. It seems like he was sort of a bad dude, you know?
Well, but was he a bad dude for the right side, or they don't get into that? They're just, he put down a rebellion. We don't know whether or not the rebellion had any legitimate grievances against the government.
Yeah, like the rebel. Yeah, was it the rebels who killed him? It was his own people who killed him.
No, the rebels killed him.
The rebels killed him.
He was selling out his own people to the rebels, and then the rebels killed him for it. As
oh, that's right, killed him for his help. That's right. Okay, so he sold out his own people to the rebels, and the rebels killed him, and he died a hero. But it was like that secret transmission that they thought Curzon Dax sent was actually sent by this guy, and I don't remember his name, but let's call him Ibudan's clone to make it easy. Yeah, DS9 actively wanted to explore how the relationship between the governments would work.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, it's that's why Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 are compared, because Babylon 5 is derisively called the UN in space.
Right.
Which is great. I love it, you know. It feels a little more delicious in Deep Space Nine because it's already entities that you have been familiar with through TNG being explored more deeply.
Totally.
Babylon 5 has the uphill battle of like, here's a bunch of people that you need to care about right now because we're going to show how they interact with each other.
Yeah, totally.
So what's this thing that's hidden? Should I not talk about these things?
Oh, you can talk about it. I think I'll leave it hidden.
Okay. Did you see it?
I did see it.
Oh, can we see it?
You can see it. The chat can't see it.
Oh, how can I see it?
It's that right there. Oh, wait, hold on. Now it's held.
Oh.
This is what he said.
Oh, I see. I could see it. I was looking at it, and I expected there to be a picture associated with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
People can't post
images.
Well, mods can post links, but you can't post images in the chat.
Yeah.
And everyone else cannot post links.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's just somebody being weird.
Yeah, someone mentioned Cisco needing his coffee earlier, which reminded me, this is the first appearance of Rack the Geno.
Yes.
Again, like, clever writing where he's like, this drink will keep you, or the Rack the Geno will keep me up all night. And I'm thinking, like, what's Rack the Geno?
Right.
And then he's like, I can think of more exciting things to keep you up all night other than Klingon coffee. Like, he tells you what it is.
Right. Exposition wrapped in a creep wrapper.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, he's being a creep, and I think we've covered that enough. What's up, Marco? Good to see you. But the exposition is there, like the sort of elegant exposition is there, which is really nice.
Right.
They do such a good job on this show of telling you what you need to know, or in this episode of telling you what you need to know. Naturally through conversations that the characters are having, which is so good.
It's what the best writing of Star Trek can be, or any show can be, is that organic flow where it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't break a lot of the established rules that they already have, apart from that they just reworked all of the Trill entirely. Right. Which is fine. That's, you know...
It is fine, because it's better now.
It's better now.
Yeah. Kevin says, DS9's factions were already explained in TNG. B5 had to explain the universe in the first season right before throwing them all in a blender. Yeah, totally. Which I feel like they did as best as they could, but it was a little...
I love Babylon 5.
I'd have to rewatch season 1 to really weigh in on that, because I understand now how much story pipe was being laid in season 1 of B5. Right. But I didn't see it when I was watching it for the first time, and was like, I am so sick of watching Michael Garibaldi and his friend learn how to box, you know? They had a good way of explaining things without being too obvious, totally. Like, so far this season, they have not hit that yet. Like, this is the first episode where I feel like they've really done a good job of that, of that really elegant exposition that I'm such a huge fan of.
So the huge flaw for me in this episode, and I do really like this episode, is this should not exist as an episode. Its biggest flaw is that it doesn't need to exist, because it comes across like, oh my god, there's never been a case where a Trill has done a murder and then no one found out about it until they switched hosts. That has got to be well established in
there's got to be a
Trill
legal
law.
precedent, totally.
And they even have the weirdest characterization.
That the Trill... We accept you as a specialist on the Trill.
Yeah, but also... Stop being who you're being.
He's so creepy.
Creepy voice of, yes, I do know lots about Trill.
Dude, that guy was one of the drug addicts in season 1 of Next Generation. When they have that, like, what is it, like the Felicium or something? Where the guy who played Merrick Buttrick, I think his name, the guy who played Kirk's son
in
the movies, and then this guy who's the creepy Trill in this episode were like addicted to this substance. Yeah, that was that same actor, but he's creepy as fuck.
He is. It's for no reason.
The woman says, did you know the host Jadzia Dax before she became joined or whatever she asked? And he's like, no, I didn't know her. He's like, okay, we accept you as an expert on the Trill. Like that is the only qualification, is not knowing Jadzia to become an expert on the Trill.
You're an unbiased expert.
Yeah,
you are a Trill, so you're automatically an expert.
But you know, like when he first starts talking, he's so creepy. But by the end of his scene, I kind of got that what he was going for was that like joined Trill have a sense of calm about them.
Sure.
Because they have all of these memories, all these experiences, and all of this wisdom, like, integrated into their personalities that they didn't have before they were joined. And I think he was trying to portray that.
Yes.
And I think Jadzia does an insanely good job of that all the time, especially in this episode. Like, I think she's... really?
Could not disagree.
You disagree?
More, yeah.
Oh my god, I think that the actress does such a good job of, like, having the weight of like 7 lifetimes behind her.
I feel it's the opposite, and I really like Terry Farrell's performance in so many other ways, but when I think about the way that she's portraying not Curzon, but the way she's portraying the Dax aspect of Jadzia, it feels like someone who, through no fault of her own, doesn't have any kind of weighty life experience and can't really put herself in that headspace. So she just sort of looks like a child playing at an adult. But in this case,
never thought
an adult playing at like an older person, a hundreds of years old person. So here's my counterpoint, a show that you have watched, we both enjoy, Travelers. On that show, the kid, the young 18-year-old punk-ass kid who's the boxer, he's portraying a super old dude, but he does such a good job as a young actor playing this guy that is filled with this calm wisdom. And I think that's exactly what they want with Jadzia, but they don't do it. Terry Farrell doesn't pull it off at all.
I disagree. I think Terry Farrell nails it. I really thought so, especially in this episode, how like she's so stoic through most of the episode and not speaking. Like they're all talking about her and not asking her questions until the end. Because as soon as you like, well, she's not willing to defend herself is kind of what the episode says.
But it's so weird. She's the other. This is Terry Farrell doesn't have good face acting. She's a great actor, but for some reason I just didn't.
That's interesting.
Her facial expressions didn't. I was like, what are you thinking? I know what the episode is. I've seen it multiple times now. I know what you're supposed to be thinking. None of it is coming across on your face.
When I went back and watched it, I'm like, I see in her performance what she's thinking.
Oh god, the counterexample for me is the guy's wife when she has her scenes with Odo. There's all kinds of stuff that is projected really well with her face and her voice that makes more sense when you see it later.
I agree. For me, it was almost too obvious. Right, when she asks, how's Curzon? Like, you know that they had a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
Yeah, to the point where Odo was like, you're not a good detective, are you? Because
Odo
that should have been follow-up question after follow-up question.
He's not Batman. Bruce Wayne would have figured that out. Yeah, Doug, you were talking about that when you watched it, totally. There should be a legal precedent.
There should be a legal precedent, and they already brought up the idea of treaties, so the idea of, do the Trill have a treaty, and that would be something you could just explain away in a heartbeat, too, is, oh, this is how the Trill do things with their legal system. Well, the Trill don't have a treaty with the Bajorans, or the Federation, or these assholes, so we have to decide this. And then you're fine. You've taken that off of the table.
Right.
But this makes it seem like it's never happened, and they even lead up to the end of the episode of like, okay, we're about to decide, and oh wait, surprise witness.
Right.
No one needs to discuss what the implications of this are.
Right. They almost made like a perfectly logical episode, but there's a couple of small holes.
Right, but I still love it. I love it because I'm fine with that not being there. You can explain why they don't do it, or it's easy to come to an explanation of how they could have put it in and then dismissed it.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of the episode is to kind of pull a measure of a man and like put someone on trial for who they are and how they exist, and kind of try to show you through like a judicial format styles of life that you might not consider, and like a way of existing that you might not think of, because for some reason like doing that in a trial format is really effective. Yeah. It just like really emotionally resonates, and I think they knew that from doing Measure of Man in season 2 of Next Generation. They kind of wanted to do that with Dax. So, I mean, that's what this episode is a trial to say, like, what is it to be Trill?
Right.
Like, what is it to be joined? Is this person, like, if you have a joining of two creatures, and one of them was joined to someone else, is it the same person?
Right.
And to me, the answer seems to be no, because I feel like it throws away Jadzia's life experience for 20 years before this.
Right.
I think that
it's both. It's
totally both. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. I interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, I interrupted you interrupting, and
this show is all interrupted.
Yeah. So I do like that this episode doesn't answer that question, because I do feel like it is in some ways unanswerable. And that's sort of the fun in this, is that this question can't be answered. Like, well, is this the same person or not? I don't know.
Right.
But let's debate it. Right. Because it's great TV.
Yeah, because there's the philosophical level of that, where I would also imagine that within Trill Society, within the Federation, this kind of debate, and probably also other cultures that do similar symbiosis things, that has got to be a huge philosophical debate. But the legal issue of what happens with Trills in these situations is 100% necessary to acknowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Has to have been a solved thing.
Has to have been a solved thing.
Because there's no way they could be a space-sparing feces? A face-sparing
feces, yes.
A space-faring species without having solved something fundamental as who's guilty of murder.
I'm going to make a poll so we can vote on this. Is Jadzia accountable for Curzon's crimes?
Wait, you have to rephrase it. Is Jadzia Dax accountable?
You made me type accountable again, you bastard.
You erase it. For Curzon, Dax is... Right.
That's we just added Dax.
Yes, because it's important. Dax is a crucial part of this.
Okay, fine.
Is Jadzia...
The people answering this poll would have known that.
Well, you are not a good space lawyer, my friend.
I am not a space lawyer at all. Okay. Okay, regardless... Okay, so there's a poll right there. I'm curious what people think.
I know. We've been talking a lot. I feel like we should read the...
Is Jadzia accountable for Curzon's crimes? Like, do you think that... In this situation, do you think that Jadzia Dax, if found guilty, should have been put to death? Basically, because it's a death sentence in this episode.
Right. Kevin is being... it's great. He's pulling in something that is very relevant to it, which is the Tuvix.
Tuvix?
Yeah,
no, we
Voyager.
can... Tuvix is...
Right.
Tuvix is why I don't want to rewatch Voyager. Tuvix, that episode is gross.
Janeway murdered somebody, get over it.
That episode makes me feel gross.
Nah.
I don't like it.
Hey, listen. Space is dangerous. Being a Federation captain ain't easy. Sometimes people die.
You get turned into a newt and fuck your helmsman.
Yeah, there's fun aspects of it too.
It's not all bad.
It's not all murdering new species. There's also some fucking...
There's also some fun to be had.
How can people not acknowledge Voyager as being the best Star Trek? It has got such delicious...
Oh, Kevin, thank you so much for being here, dude. You are always welcome. We do this every other week. We usually do 2 o'clock. We might...
Oh, look at that.
We might try 3 next time. Okay, well, I'm looking at the poll. Here we go. View results. 2 say no, 1 say yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty...
Well, some people voice voted because they couldn't vote in the... remember how people can't?
Oh, right. So, Amanda...
We got some voice votes.
Yeah, so it's... I think the chat's leaning towards no.
Hmm.
Is the body responsible for the crimes of the brain? That is such an interesting way to put it.
See, what you do is you have to have brain jail and body jail. So you can set people into brain jail and you can put people into body jail.
Yeah, body jail is physical labor and brain jail is
bad music.
Bad VR experience that you have to... Brain jail is what happens to O'Brien later on in the show.
Brain jail is every bad feeling you've ever had forever.
Yeah, Voyager was sometimes hard to watch. I agree.
That one time you said that one weird thing to
Amanda's
that person.
a no. Okay, yeah, chat's definitely leaning no.
Okay. See, I did say yes. I think that...
You say yes.
Well, yeah, because there is the issue, if it was a crime, if Curzon Dax did murder somebody, suppose they found out about it while Curzon Dax was alive, he would get punished as Curzon Dax. And they probably wouldn't give him a new host, I would think. That's going to take you out of that kind of thing. So I would think at the very least, if Jadzia Dax is alive, Curzon Dax committed a crime, proven demonstrably, perhaps Jadzia doesn't get to pass the host on to someone else afterwards, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that if the symbiont has committed a crime, they probably Trill law involves not allowing that symbiont to be passed on.
Right, and I would say for sure that the Trill have a like no death sentence for the hosts of symbiotes that have committed crimes. I'm guessing that that's their law structure. What would happen in the world like this is, oh, here's someone, like the Trill probably don't sign treaties with anyone that has the death penalty for crimes, because that's going to be really bad for them, you know? So in this case, what would happen in the worst case scenario is, yes, this situation exists, the new host Trill is kidnapped, put on trial, and then that society murders them, you know, for committing the crime.
Yeah, because the Trills value life so much.
Right.
And I think, like, as a species who is longer lived with the symbionts,
yeah,
they would value life more because they have more experience and they recognize
right.
more and more about what makes life special.
Yeah, and
so I feel like I really feel like if a symbiont committed a crime, they wouldn't allow that symbiont to have another host,
right.
because
you're gonna die when this host dies.
Right,
you know?
but I mean that is a death sentence though, because
it is, but it's not,
if a symbiont doesn't have a host, they die.
It's a slow death sentence, but it's also, I feel like it's a great deterrent for them.
Sure, yeah, totally, absolutely. Okay, we missed some stuff in chat. Let's back up here.
This is good. This is a talky episode. There's a lot of stuff
and this is the type of stuff I love. Yeah, Species 8472 and the Borg episodes. I struggle with that in Voyager because, like, I feel like they really defanged the Borg. The Borg are so scary, but then the more you learn about them, the less frightening they become.
Yeah.
Because you keep finding ways to beat them, you know? Like, the Borg Queen, while I love First Contact, I feel like the idea of a Borg Queen kind of poisoned the idea of what made the Borg so scary, and then they had to deal with that in Voyager.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with that stuff.
It'll be fun. We'll do a deep dive in Voyager.
Look at RoboCop 2. They put a drug dealer brain in a crime-fighting robot. I actually haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I love the first one, though, but the reboot was terrible. Later in Season 4, we have some more clarity about how Trill think about the different lives of the hosts. Yes, so we will have more clarity about this later.
We already knew, we know some of that now from having seen it before, and this is when we get to there in full, that's when they really are clearly rejecting what had been established with Trill beforehand in TNG. And
they've already rejected that just by saying that, like, Riker wasn't there and, like, wasn't
nothing, right.
Like, they're already saying it's a total joining of these two. Like, the symbiote and the host are combining into a new personality.
Right. And Odon would not give up chasing after that the Dr. Crusher pussy. Host after host, he's like, I want to keep touching butts with you. And what you learn later is, like, that's completely against Trill law and custom, you know?
Right. Yeah, so and that episode is a bad episode, so I don't, for me, I just kind of wave it out of canon. Like, there's some, like, internal canons. There's some internal canons that say that there is, like, a northern and southern hemisphere of Trill that look different.
Well, that's the thing that Terry Farrell had said when people were like, what do you say about the Trill being different? And she said, I just picture them living in different parts of the planet, which is totally fine.
Totally fine, because, like, look at our planet. You know, you don't often see on Star Trek, like, I mean, you tend to see like, sometimes you see Vulcans that are of different ethnicities from Earth, that have different skin tones, which I like. But you don't often see diversity among the cultures that you see on the shows. Yeah, they're all monocultures, and the planets are usually like mono,
the way Star Wars does ice planets.
Yeah, exactly.
Planets,
what's the word
planets,
for that? Monotopography? I don't know. Also, we have to say hi to Beach Guy. Beach Guy is here.
Hi, Beach Guy.
Voyager had such a great premise that got screwed up by a studio. I absolutely agree. The premise of Voyager has never paid off on that show, and that's my biggest problem with it. Look at Venom. The symbiotes take traits from all the hosts they bond with.
Yeah. Well, you can have this either way. So the idea of the headcanon of there being among Trill, like, the northern continent and the southern continent, is having, like, okay, let's say these symbiotes do exist, then there's a different way that it's handled. Like, the Trill that they showed look different physically, so we can say that they're probably related species, but different enough from each other. Yeah. So that maybe in the one of them, they do just, the symbiote takes over and the host is nothing. You know, it completely dominates the personality, and they can go ahead and keep chasing after that dick that they had from their previous relationships.
In which case,
no one cares.
In which case, my answer changes for the whether or not Jadzia would be guilty. Like, if there is no Jadzia and there is only Dax, and Dax just moves from host to host but is still Dax, then yes, I think that they should be held accountable.
So in Northern Continent Trills, which have the one name, Odon, where the symbiote takes over the personality entirely, 100% guilty for past crimes.
Yeah. But then the interesting thing is, like, if someone was found guilty after the fact like that, should that symbiont be taken out and that host be given another symbiont? If they find, but that can't be true because like the moment that the symbiont is connected with the host,
right?
They have all the memories and they would know everything that symbiont did.
Right.
But if it's the if it's the original version from TNG and the symbiont, then the host has no say.
Right.
Then I think in that case, like if it's found guilty of a crime, then the symbiont should be taken out and the host given a new symbiont because you can't hold that host accountable.
Right.
But in that society, the host would be a second-class citizen because they don't have any say in their lives once they become joined.
Right.
So it's not as fertile of a storytelling ground, and I really like that they changed it.
Well, what would be interesting would be having both side by side, where you're exploring both versions of this symbiotic relationship between two different species.
Yeah.
Where they both have the same basic structure, but the northern continent hosts that we saw in TNG actively take over the mind of, like, maybe it's a choice they can make, you know? They actively take over the full mind of the host.
Yeah, maybe it's a choice. Maybe it's like a maybe the symbiont is always capable of that, but they
don't.
But they're in the southern continent. They're raised not to. I like how we've decided which is which. Kevin says you could have had the story of how the Maquis Federation crew integrated and got home. I know. I mean, what a missed opportunity.
They dropped that too quickly.
Massively missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Snapper says they have to be guilty together because that's the nature of the symbiotic relationship. It's not symbiotic unless both beings contribute to becoming a single new being.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And in TNG, it's not really
it's not symbiotic. It's it's invasive.
You know what? It can be symbiotic because symbiosis just means that they need each other to survive.
Right. Yeah. And Riker does come back when they separate.
Right. And like there are symbiotic relationships on Earth with like little fish that follow bigger fish and just eat stuff off their backs. Like
Amanda wants me to take my shirt off.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you need... I see. I was like, doesn't sound like Amanda. To survive with mutual benefit, totally. Yeah, and I mean, why... If a host is going to lose their personality entirely, why would someone volunteer for that?
Right, yeah.
It seemed like it was a position of honor. What did they say about that in TNG? I haven't watched that episode in a couple years.
I don't remember if they really addressed it. It's in one of those, which is not surprising for TNG, where they set up this thing with a bunch of questions. And it's like, nope, we're only doing it this.
Yeah.
We're only telling you about this piece here.
Yeah.
But again, that would be, on its own, it might not be that interesting to explore, but I think a larger Trill Society exploration with both of these in it would be fascinating, because you would get into what does the host get out of it, you know?
Right, and it's so much clearer what the host gets out of it when they have a true joining, because the host gets these lifetimes of memory, they get wisdom beyond their years.
Well, they have to. That's why they have to be trained, and it's a highly selected thing. Maybe the the Northern Trills is just like, anyone who will do it, honestly. We'll just take whatever space garbage we can find.
They just use, like, their prisoners or something. Like,
Fuck it, that guy was ready to go into Riker. He's like, I don't care, man, as long as I don't die.
There's, like, a fascinating story to be told there about the differences between those two presentations of the Trill. Because they are so different.
Yeah.
The only thing that's similar is that there's a worm that lives in someone's belly. Like, that's the only similarity. The rest of it, like, the whole culture built up around symbiosis is totally different with what we get in Deep Space Nine. And, like, kind of beautiful and respectful and based off of choice and free will and like, kind of a wonderful thing.
Yes, more of a Star Trek ideals.
Yeah, totally. Oh my god, holy shit! Quite the Snapper just dropped a $20 super chat.
Whoa!
Holy crap. Oh my god, dude. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Getting high and talking about Star Trek is worth.
And we're gonna get a notification that pops up in a second with a little dance party too, which is very exciting. Wait, I want to hear it. Miles, you're on my headphones. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Everybody pause for the dance.
There we go.
Oh, there it is! I like the little rainbow DS9.
Yeah, that's a DS9 Nyan cat.
This is a great episode.
DS9 cat. Dude, thank you so much. That really means a lot. You're so kind. Thank you. What were we talking about?
Someone earlier, way back in the chat, and I saw, whoever you were, asked about the Arbiter's Gavel.
The Arbiter's Gavel, which is
basically
beautiful.
A Borg sphere.
It's
boom.
Like, what a great prop.
Yeah.
Like, we can see it in that picture. Yeah.
It's something
good design.
Sometimes I find hokey in Star Trek, where, like, they lovingly zoom in and fetishize this object. They focus in on it, you know, when she's slamming that gavel. We kind of do that in our, you know, jury shows here.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. Like, yes, you should be proud that you made this, like, this heavy stone round gavel thing, and then you had the little tray for it. It was all really, again, it flowed naturally. That was like...
I wish that they'd been a little more, like... This is something that bothers me about Star Trek, is that they just kind of assume that all societies have the same thing that we have.
Sure.
Like, they all have gavels.
Greco-Roman.
Like, their arbitration system is exactly like ours.
It's called arbitration.
Yeah.
It's not a trial, it's arbitration.
But the thing is like, if you're looking at it as an excuse to tell a good story, then super worthwhile and wonderful.
Yeah, and these are things that I accept, because if you understand Star Trek canon, you have to accept that there's a planet where they have the American flag and they worship the Constitution.
It's the bocce ball of justice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, having everybody have the same court system is fine with me.
Oh, Amanda, type it in like this. Just like that. This pops up another thing on screen.
Oh, okay.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Barrel roll.
Happen on screen.
Happen on screen.
Aw, wait, it's not happening.
Alright.
Is this... Hold on. Sometimes I have to refresh it. Where's the redeem?
Do you need an EPS power conductor?
I'm looking at my setup here. There's a lot going on in this setup. Oh, the redeem is missing. Hold on.
I'm gonna try to reroute the power crystal redeemer.
I don't need this one.
Through the streaming.
Add source.
Flux capacitor. No.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna switch sources so I can grab it. Hold on, this is gonna look weird. We're going to my retro gaming setup for a second.
Reach!
Okay, where's the redeem? This one. Okay, let's see. Now I have to... I can't see it over the microphone. This is... Copy that.
Copy that. Roger. Redemption reward loaded.
Back to here. Add source.
You know, she doesn't have all day for this. The Arbiter wants you to get this back in before she gets senile.
Okay, now let's try that again. Isolinear chips. Flight controls.
Roll.
Let's see. There was a roll. What else is there? There's oh, there's ludicrous speed. That's a good one. Wait for it.
Okay. These take a second, right?
I think I spelled ludicrous wrong.
You should have done roll. Roll's easy.
Flight controls LS? I think it's flight controls LS.
Okay. Oh, let's get it.
Ah, there it is. Go. And he goes, wah! Alright, we fixed it.
Yay! Thank you, Jesse.
Okay.
I will make fun of you the entire time you're fixing it, but I'm glad that it gets
feel like that's fair.
That's the kind of person I would be at Deep Space Nine, would just be trash-talking everyone while they were trying to work.
Wow. You would be fired immediately. So you're basically Quark. I love how Odo convinces Quark to give up the bar for the arbitration.
Oh, by
blackmailing him.
Yeah, yeah.
And then telling Sisko that, like, he just did that for his own enjoyment.
Yeah, yeah.
He tells Sisko later that Quark gave it up of his own will, and it's like ridiculous.
It adds into the myth that Quark is like has a heart of gold underneath all of his gruff exterior.
Yeah.
Because Odo is just being a, you know, strong arm asshole and doesn't tell Sisko that. So Sisko's like, hey, Quark's maybe not so bad. Oh.
I had to pop it open there.
Thank you.
I just remembered that we were gonna
space cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, like, having a central question at the core of an episode that is hard to answer.
Yeah.
Where they argue it on both sides effectively is like such a Star Trek thing to do.
Absolutely. It's why I think the Tuvix episode, Kevin was great to bring that up, is that it's has a very similar feeling and connotations.
Yeah, but for me, like, Measure of a Man is a better, like, is more similar, because Tuvix like ignores its own good points.
Sure. Which
is like Tuvix makes you wonder if the writers know what morals are.
Yeah, well, because I wished that it had been basically like acknowledging, yeah, I ain't gonna murder this person because I like the other people better than I like you. End of the day, you know.
We're murdering this person because like it's 2 lives can be saved by killing this one person.
Yeah,
you know?
Which I think is very Starfleet. That's very Federation.
Yeah, the needs of the many, but and also like those people didn't have a choice in being combined.
Yeah,
but listening to Tuvix like tell them you are going to kill me and having the whole crew ignore him.
But that's so great. That's what
it feels icky.
That's what it should be. It's got to get under your skin. Like this one. You know, they never get to, the whole murder thing. You at no point feel any sympathy for this murder victim. You know what I mean? That is such an abstract aspect of this episode, which is good because I think it keeps it at the higher level clinical. What are the basic structures of the legality here? They didn't make it like, oh, it was like a 12-year-old child that was strangled to death or something, where you'd be like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Kevin says your DNA didn't have the choice to be combined. We're all accidents of birth. I heard Bill Nye say that everybody is like a genetically modified organism because your parents chose each other,
right? Which
makes you like
genetic engineering,
genetically engineered between like the choices of people.
It's sloppy, basic ass genetic engineering.
It's sloppy. It's very sticky. Also,
which is why we must impose order and structure on breeding.
Oh, that's a good point. As a costume maker, I have to appreciate the difference in clothes from culture to culture.
Yeah.
A lot of the costume design in the last couple episodes, particularly the one before this, was really good.
The dudes with the stuff over their heads.
Yeah, the what's it called? Auction. That's the word.
Auction. Sorry, there was not enough for me to go for there.
Yeah,
Spaceball.
What's it called? I don't know. What are you talking about? Yeah, a lot of the costume design was really great. So I love Odo's arc in this episode, and there's so many times where what Odo is doing is like borderline, like funny.
Yes.
With his delivery of like
comic relief. Yeah.
The murder happened here at 12 o'clock p.m. Like, he just seems like an old British constable.
Yeah.
From like that werewolf movie, or like from like a Jack the Ripper serial on BBC. Like he, even the way he delivers his lines sometimes is like a 1920s gangster.
Yeah. Small town sheriff.
Yeah. It's very silly and sometimes kind of comical.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've not quite gotten the tone of that right yet.
Right.
Even though I feel like they're using Odo correctly finally, you know, like putting him on the case. He's so good at that. And I love when they do those episodes. And like getting to have him go, solve a mystery that is decades old and showing that he's above average at detective work, I think is really effective character development, and I really like that for him.
Yeah.
But there's still times where his dialogue is just like a little too much for me.
Quite the snapper that Odo was more like an annoyed comedian. I think that's a fair characterization.
Yeah. It's like everybody that we know. Early in the series, yeah, totally. But he's already starting to develop some of his mannerisms that I think are so good. Like when he's totally. And when he's sitting talking to Quark, like getting Quark to give him the bar for the arbitration, he's just like his chest is puffed up and he's just like, well,
we're gonna have to
maybe we'll have to move these walls. This bar is too close to the exit. Like he's like getting some of that weird swagger that he gets later on that is so good.
New regulations.
Yeah.
I don't make them. I just have to enforce them.
It's so good. It's so good.
Holosuites are gonna have to come down.
Yeah. But he's like but it's still a little bit awkward, you know. They don't quite have it.
See, here's my problem: is that Odo is a bad cop, 100%. He's bending the rules.
Yeah.
We only ever see him strong arming Quark. You have to know that Odo does this to people that are innocent, that he thinks are guilty, and that is what justifies him to lay the hammer down.
Right.
He's gonna be wrong. He's a fallible person. So that's a thing that I...
But I do think that Odo wouldn't take permanent action against somebody unless he had absolute proof.
Right.
Like, he would put anyone in jail at any second of the day, but he's not going to, like, let someone leave his custody until he's sure that they should.
I have new headcanon. The reason why Odo doesn't use a phaser is he knows he would straight up murder someone who was innocent. because he knows himself. He knows that this is what he does. He knows that he's wrong, but he's trying to get results.
That's interesting.
If he had a phaser, he'd probably wind up hurting somebody.
That's really interesting.
Maybe now he's better, but when he was younger, he was, you know...
Yeah. Well, he's Batman because he doesn't use guns.
He's Batman.
We're back on it.
Yeah.
He's Batman again. Now all I want in the world is to have Odo like shapeshift into Batman. But I want to see it in an episode of Deep Space Nine. Someone make that happen.
Yeah, I agree with Amanda and Quite the Snapper about loving Odo. Odo is one of the, especially first season. But he's such a good actor. You know, Renee, and I cannot pronounce his last name. Auberjonois is a great actor, and the characters we're saying it hasn't been fully formed yet, but it's still written really well. Yeah. It also helps that he's very tropey because he is, you know, hitting these beats that are well known. Yeah, I also want to bring up the end of this episode where the truth is revealed, because the widow comes and testifies. But then the best scene of the episode, I think, is when she talks to Dax as they're like walking down the promenade. I love that scene. Just go live. I love that moment. I love that moment. I'll make fun of it, but it is
so good. I actually almost rolled a tear because it was like,
you're such a sap.
I'm such a sap because like you have this woman who is seeing this person that she loved and not seeing their gender. She's like seeing through Dax's eyes through Jadzia's eyes to Dax. She's seeing the Dax that she loved, and she like Curzon's not there anymore, but like a piece of what she loved is still there, and she gets to speak to that person again.
What she is showing is that yes, Jadzia should be held accountable for Curzon's
totally,
because that's how she views it. She's seeing Curzon.
Yeah, I mean, luckily Curzon didn't commit a crime, so that the point becomes moot.
Right, that's the other reason none of this needs to exist, and it gets a kind of an unsatisfying conclusion.
But I love that you have an unanswerable question that they refuse to answer. It's great. But when she says live, what she's saying is like, you were about to let your life like be given away for nothing. Like you were about to throw your life away for a secret that you didn't even make.
Right.
Like the weight of this symbiont is weighing you down to the point where you're not willing to live your own life as Jadzia, and that's not necessarily good for you. So live. Like go live your life. Like she conveyed so much in that moment. The acting is fantastic. That woman played the woman who may or may not be Data's mother, which actually happened a year later than this episode came out. I always think of TNG as happening before.
But like it was done.
Yeah, but like she did this part and then that part a year later. Yeah. And she was that dude's mom on Lost in that crazy like time travel episode, one of the only good episodes in season 5.
Gotcha.
Fionnuala Flanagan. I don't know
when I was watching this and I was trying to think of who I wanted for best characters and best actors, it was the Arbiter and then her. Ashamed I don't remember her character's name. Anina, something like that. Elena.
Let's look it up.
But I'm still at this moment still torn.
I've got it like right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. It was right. Oh, it was in trivia. Gregory Itzin is that other dude.
Oh,
Wait, Anne Haney, that's that one.
The son.
Yeah, so she played what was her character's name? Anina Tandro. Tandro. So yeah, there's Elon Tandro, I think.
So something close to that.
Something like that was the son, and then I don't remember what the dad's name, but the Tandros.
The Tandro family.
Yeah. But Anina Tandro, yeah.
Right.
That's her name. I'll leave that up for later. Yeah, I mean, she gave a really great performance.
Yep.
But the Arbiter, to me... Well, should we get into that stuff? Is there anything else in this episode we want to talk about?
I don't know. Let me look at my notes. Does chat have anything they want to talk about the episode? This is one of those where I didn't write down a lot of notes, but it was still like... Because I'm, like, enraptured by the episode, and it's going to be so easy to talk about. Like, I could keep talking about all of these... philosophical aspects.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I did write down some things like, what we're now calling the Southern Trill, apparently they also get all the shit from the previous host. It's implied because they talk about the ring that Curzon popped Cisco with, leaving a scar on him.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jadzia sadly is like, when I became Dax, I tried to put the ring on and it slipped out. Like, why'd you have his ring?
That's interesting.
Did you get this dead guy stuff?
Why wouldn't she have?
Does she have just like a crate of like trill porn? Probably porn from a variety of species.
Well, if it's
Curzon,
like
Klingon, a deep bucket of Klingon porn.
If it's an if it's an item that has sentimental value to the symbiont, why wouldn't they pass it on?
Well, I'm saying this is going to be everything, probably, right? All of the stuff. Like, the property doesn't... The symbiote gets the property of the previous person, right? You know, their whole estate. It's not like they get sold off.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or maybe they have kids. That might be
maybe they just put everything else on eBay that they don't want to keep.
Yeah, another chase where they didn't use the transporters. And then, why didn't they change the override security codes from before?
Yeah, from when the Cardassians were there.
And again, I loved the chase. And I thought that they did such a good job with it. But there are these little things that are kind of...
Yeah. Yeah, like sometimes the show... You can always see the reverse engineering on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this episode? Okay, well, it's an episode about trying to define who Dax is as a character. How do we do that? Well, we should probably talk about what it means to be a Trill. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we could have something that happened in Curzon's life affect Jadzia somehow. Right. Okay, what should that be? And then they like come up with this, you know, this whole political backstory.
You build it around it, yeah.
Right.
Which makes sense, because to me, if I was a writer on the show, I'd be like, what the fuck is up with the Trills, you know?
Yeah. Didn't the guy who played Zephram Cochrane play someone on DS9? Yes, and on TNG, and they used footage of him on Enterprise, but I don't think he reshot anything. Or maybe he did, I can't remember.
All three of them were guilty. I did write down the other thing that stood out to me. It's this like meta-analysis of the show, where I don't like the fact that Julian had done the like, oh, but that doesn't mean no permission to follow her home. But then is, I don't want to say rewarded for it, because he does get himself knocked out, but he gets to be there at a crucial, important moment. So it's not like he's gonna question that he did the wrong thing. You know, if anything, it's gonna help, in theory, the motivation for him to continue to be like, well, she didn't say no, maybe she's getting kidnapped again.
Ugh. Yeah.
So that's the part that stands out like a sore thumb in this episode.
I agree. Yeah, and they often do stuff in the intro, like in the first act, in the cold opens, that is trying to build character, and sometimes
whenever it's Julian's character,
job. Yeah, whenever it's Julian, it's just kind of
once Julian falls in love with Garrick, everything about him chills out.
Do you think the Arbiter throws the gavel if they are found guilty? They have, I think that they have a net, yeah, and they just toss it into the thing. They have a little bowl that's guilty and a bowl that's not guilty, and the Arbiter has to toss it in. Yeah, I adore how much character they put into the Arbiter.
Yeah,
where she has so much personality, but you can tell that she's like, you made it more difficult for me by bringing that point up. Like, she's going to be fair.
I wish you had
She has to
that.
be fair.
Yeah.
She has no choice but to be fair. And she, like, makes that a point. Yeah, and it's also interesting looking at this story from the point of view of the son, who is kind of pursuing Dax across the galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Who's looking for answers for something about a father he never knew.
Right.
But maybe has inherited some of his father's poor qualities.
Yeah, well, the more that I thought about this, because he's the antagonist. He's the villain of the episode.
Right.
But I guess I would say that he didn't do anything unjustifiably wrong, including kidnapping and attempting to murder Jadzia, because of the silence of his mother, all of the evidence pointed to this being the case.
Right.
Except for his father, which is interesting because, and it's natural. It's like, oh, 4 people could have killed this man. Oh, well, he committed suicide, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of in that same range. So they mentioned he eliminated all the other suspects. The only person left was Curzon. So
yeah, like his detective work was decent.
He's right. He's not wrong based on what he knows. He's pursuing justice for his father.
He is assuming guilt before, like, talking to Jadzia. Like, he's assuming that Jadzia is guilty.
Which is legitimate, because, again, all of his evidence says that. Like, literally only 4 people had these codes.
But the fact that he's wrong means that he's a bad detective.
Yeah, well, it's like Odo. It's Odo would murder people.
Did the son have a warrant for Curzon? He had a warrant for Dax. Yes, he had an extradition agreement with the Federation, which means that, like, with his... Well, did he have a warrant?
Well, yeah, he
had something that he showed.
Arrest warrant, right, for Curzon, but they don't ever go. Yes, so he has an arrest warrant for Curzon, and he's like, I'm going to take Jadzia, and then the Federation's like, that's not Curzon, that's Jadzia, and that's kind of what starts the arbitration. He's saying this is Curzon, and they're saying it's not. Then let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's have there's enough merit to the case that the Bajorans will have a arbitration discussion. That's the other thing, is this could have been done with the Federation, where he's like, we can just take people, and they'd be like, well, let's have a trial about it, because the names don't match.
Yeah.
You know? They didn't have to make the Bajorans hold the trial, but it was an interesting part. It was an interesting thing to do.
Andy asks, or Andy says, alien courts could presume guilt over innocence, which is a really good point, and I think specifically said in Star Trek at some point, like one alien says guilty until proven innocent.
Right.
But we know that the Federation doesn't follow that.
Right.
So.
But this is Bajoran.
And I think that innocent until proven guilty makes you a better detective, than guilty until proven innocent. Like, you cannot say guilty until you have proof.
Right.
Like, that's why Odo comes up with the right answer,
Yeah, so here's the other question. I think what was the implication is that this dude is going to kidnap Jadzia, Curzon, to him, and put him on trial. So it's not like if they lost the arbitration, Jadzia's dead. They would have had a trial on this planet.
On that planet.
I'm guessing his mom would have popped into that.
Maybe.
Even if she didn't, there'd still be the trial, and then Jadzia would, at that point, she's refusing to give a defense to herself. Then, okay.
How did he know Jadzia was the new Dax? That's a good. He probably just got in touch with the Trill government, which they called the Trillion in this episode, and never again.
Yeah, it's Vulcanians all over again.
Yeah, and like Memory Alpha talks about how Vulcanian and Trillion are like alternate ways to say, or like Bajora instead of Bajor.
Yeah.
Or Bajoran.
He had a. This is so weird that I know it. Is that he had a Trill working for him? So the explanation could be that this person told him information or brought him to Deep Space Nine, because on Netflix, when you pause it and it does the one sentence summary, the summary for this episode is something like, Jadzia Dax is heading to her quarters for the night when she's being watched by a Trill named Salen Peel or something. Literally, that's it. That's the summary of the cold open.
Which doesn't make sense.
It's like the opening.
Oh yeah, he's like, there's two dudes like behind a thing. He's like, that's Dax. Like, someone points out Dax.
Right, he has one, but that's what Netflix describes as the summary of the episode.
Okay, so he knew that Dax was a Trill, and then he just
and then that guy
looked up where Dax was working, and then found someone on the station to point out Dax to him.
Or he said, I want Curzon Dax. I'm going to contact the Trill homeworld. They're like, we can't give out that information. And then he calls back at night, and there's some dude who's like, for like 50 bars of gold pressed latinum, I will take you to Deep Space Nine and show you where Curzon Dax is now. Because I kind of didn't like that guy. He was a bit of a bully.
Yeah.
And then that dude's like, all right. And then they go to Deep Space Nine.
Long story short, there are many ways where we can get to this guy finding out who Jadzia is.
So I'm fine with that.
Many ways. What do we think about Jadzia keeping a secret for a previous host that would get her killed?
Again, it shows that it's this episode, in every other circumstance, shows that a lot of the characters believe that Jadzia should be responsible for the murder. Jadzia herself feels that she's responsible for the secrets,
Right.
It's like they are entwined, or that kind of history is entwined.
I don't know if it were me if I would do the same thing, but I like that Jadzia makes that choice, because the stream should end with Tetris attack. I really like that Jadzia makes that choice because it gives us a good sense of her character. Like, she's someone who holds herself to the things that she says, and even if it was something that her host said, she'll or her symbiont said, she'll still hold herself to.
What I can't tell is, are they implying it's almost like a friendship where Curzon to her is a friend who only exists in memory, but not necessarily as herself, or is it, no, this is me and I have to be responsible for this? I don't know. That's where it gets real squishy with Trill.
I think that her relationship with whatever Tondro her name is, Lady Tondro,
Lady Tondro.
Her relationship with Lady Tondro makes her
Elenin.
Like, her memory of that, and that, I think that they were in love.
Yes.
And I think that bond went deep enough for Curzon that she couldn't break, and for Dax, the symbiont, that she could not break that bond.
Right.
She couldn't be the one to bring shame onto a woman that she used to love. I think more than anything else, that's what was driving Jadzia's decision.
So what I'm seeing now, further headcanon, is that the Northern Trill who just like do whatever they want from symbiote to symbiote, including chase the same woman through 3 hosts in the matter of like 4 days.
What's up, Max?
Versus the Southern Continent Trill who are like, no, we do not carry on relationships, but they totally want to. You know what I mean? They're setting this rule that they themselves can't follow.
Right.
Because Jadzia is shown to do that later on in the series. Ezri does it, you know, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The fact that Curzon is working with Cisco, you're like, come on.
Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistency in Trill logic.
No, I think but it's good. It's like if you take it as this is a cultural, sort of like we have like this common monogamy sexuality on our culture, Western culture.
Yeah.
Yet, you know, it's not. Where am I going with this? it's not a.
But you still have people who want to be in polyamorous relationships, right, and who will pursue that. And then, like the way that a culture embraces or rejects people who have natural feelings that are different from the norm,
right,
defines a culture in a lot of ways,
right.
And it's interesting that the Trill are such a long-lived and open society, yet these things are taboo.
Right, they have a lot of strange taboos around it,
yeah,
and I think that is one of them. And this must be their view of how it makes their Trill society more stable.
Yeah,
versus those rotten Northerners who just take over the host and do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, it always kind of rubbed me the wrong way that it was discouraged for a Trill to get into romantic relationships with the same person.
Right.
I feel like if they're in love and they make each other happy, and that can continue onto a new host, like why not? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And it seems like a weird taboo.
We'll get back to that later because
yeah,
they have another episode about that.
Yes, the society can only be judged by how it treats its poor and its powerless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And we're doing a shit poor job of that right now as a society.
I'm just going back to old stuff. Curzon is her dead conjoined brother, who you also have memories of, their personality.
Yeah, and like I feel like the Trill are a more evolved society than ours.
They kind of give it that like Trill come off as like we know better about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes it seems like it's because they're more evolved, and sometimes it feels like maybe you're just arrogant.
Yeah,
yeah, because you have such long memories.
Trill are interesting too because it's the species that's never shown as anything other than a curiosity about its culture. You know, there's no military aspect of them. There's nothing else that's shown in terms of their interaction with other species. It's just like symbiotes are weird.
Yeah, totally. Well, should we get to the voting? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I love this episode, and I love talking about the moral issues.
It's
at
meaty.
The core of these episodes, especially in an episode that doesn't answer its own questions. I think that's so cool. Okay, so we're gonna rate it from 1 to 10 bars of gold pressed latinum.
Right. Oh, you are getting so good at that.
I got real good at that now.
Boom.
I can make a 10-question poll in seconds. Paula, hey, what's up, Paula? You made it.
Okay.
Okay, we are voting on the rating 1 to 10 for the episode Dax. How do we rate it? Doug, what do you think?
Straight up 9 bars of gold
wow, Doug giving it a 9. Coming in hot with a 9.
Yeah.
Damn.
All the nitpicky that I do doesn't really affect my overall enjoyment of the episode. It doesn't need to exist, but it's a solidly constructed and executed episode. And in this case, my ongoing beef about Bashir, this being one of the worst things that he's done so far, still won't detract me from enjoying the episode.
That's awesome. So Andy, this time I'm voting for Andy because Amanda voted already. Is that correct? I'll pop in a 6 for Andy. Okay, Doug's giving me a 9. Well, I'm gonna give it. I love this episode, and I feel like this is low. My instinct is telling me 7.5, but I have to back that up because it's such a good episode. You know what bothers me about this episode is that it is the measure of a man. Like, it's so similar. I think the trial format is just kind of like a crutch to.
Oh, you mean the pilot to TNG?
Well, see, that trial format is different. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Is that like Q is putting humanity on trial for the whole entirety of that show, you know, and that's different. But like sitting down and having an arbitration for me brings up like one of the it's so good in Star Trek, and they do it again in this show with that Worf's like command decisions in another episode that I really love. Courtroom drama. Yeah, totally. But something about doing a courtroom drama on Star Trek feels like cheating to me. It's like, let's just take a procedural format that works and apply it to our procedural show instead of coming up with something new and different. So,
I would watch Space Court, the Star Trek Space Court show every day. So I don't care if Deep Space Nine or any series wants to dip into the court well. Make it a fucking hospital drama episode. Make 10 of those. Do it well. I'm on board.
I've been saying for years that I want to see a Starfleet medical show.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. I mean, I think that could be the ultimate Star Trek, is one that is just a court... Like the Star Trek JAG. Star Trek JAG! Star Trek JAG! Yes, that's the show. That would be so good. Yeah, they did it to Captain Pike. It is a Star Trek classic thing.
It's a TV classic thing. It's justice. That's, you know...
So should I hold that against this episode?
So it's up to you. I personally don't think a well-executed trope should be counted against the fact that the trope itself is well worn.
You're right. You're right.
Even you should get points if you can take a battered old trope and either take a new spin on it, put it in a new direction, or do it pitch perfectly and make it satisfying.
Yeah. Totally.
So
okay, I don't think I should hold that against this.
Right. Because this is the thing, some people hold genre fiction as a structure, like, ugh, it's just a space thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I'm looking at my other rating because it helps me.
Oh, you're such a cheater.
I gave Babel a 6.5. Okay. I feel like the thing that I shouldn't hold that against this episode because it is a well-executed courtroom drama. And the thing that makes this truly special to me is that really emotional moment at the end where like Dax and I forget her name again. Lady Tondro have that like really special
Mother
moment.
Tondro.
Like that, it's such a special moment. My initial thought was 7.5. I feel like I maybe talked myself into an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8.
All right.
Why not?
Jesse talked himself up.
Talked myself up to an 8.
Strips of gold press latinum.
Okay. Oh, and I have to vote for Andy.
9 is too close to being a 10. Quite the snapper understands math.
Yeah, Star Trek is absolutely about social justice. I'm gonna go to an 8. Wait, Andy voted 6. So I have to add a 6 to this because they can't both vote.
Boom.
Okay, and what's our math? Our math man is doing the math.
That's more votes.
Now you got more math to do, buddy.
Still comes out to a solid 8.
It's an 8. 8 in the chat. All right, nice. Well done, chat.
There's enough high voters that push that 8, push that 6 back up.
Chat and I are in agreement. Okay, so now we need to nominate people for best. What is it? Best performance next?
Performance and character.
Favorite character first. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite character in this episode.
So,
Arbiter.
Dax.
Jadzia.
Yeah. Odo.
Lady Tondro.
Odo.
Ooh.
Tondro's son.
Tondro's son.
Son Tondro. The Tondro prosecutor.
Tondro's son. That creepy Trill dude.
Creepy Trill dude.
Anyone else we want to nominate for favorite character? Bashir.
Oof.
If you want to get banned.
Well, yeah, we didn't get into
the gavel.
The gavel.
Okay, that's 8 options. That's good. That's plenty.
We didn't get into the meat of the testimony. This is one of those episodes we could have done the whole thing.
I mean, we can still talk about it while these people are voting.
Okay.
The bocce ball of judgment.
The Bashir testimony was interesting because he was like, that was actually a good characterization of like, he was so fucking proud of himself and he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Watch as Tondro Litigator owns Idiot Federation Doctor.
But he did a good job of like Cisco telling him like assume the answer is no and then find the proof.
Yeah.
he did a good job of finding medical proof that they are not the same.
He did what Sisko told him to do, and none of it held up in fake Bajoran arbitration court.
Yeah, totally.
But then he was so cocky, so proud of himself, and then always like trying to throw eyes at Jadzia, who was basically just like eye rolling. Because she never says anything, and she's just eye-rolling his testimony.
She's like, I'm already dead, so fuck this noise.
It's only when Sisko testifies for himself, calls himself to the stand, you can see her, like, being proud of the questions and the things that Sisko is saying. Like, this guy gets it.
She's proud of her accomplishments as Jadzia, which is really a really good argument that she is a different person. I mean, so much about this episode is so well done.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug, favorite character.
Do I have to go first every time?
Well, it helps because then I just put it in order.
Oh, I see.
That's just me being lazy about my spreadsheet.
Okay, my favorite character is the Arbiter.
Yeah, of course it is. Favorite character. I'm actually going to go with Jadzia on this one.
Interesting. Bold choice, my friend. Bold choice.
Because, like, I get such a good sense of who Jadzia is as a person in this episode.
Right. It's interesting because your favorite character, it's defined by other people.
Hey, what's up, Austin?
It's not like Jadzia defines herself in this episode.
Jadzia does define herself in this episode with her silence and with her ability to die for the love of a past host.
This is Jazzia. It's the notes she's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there's something really special about it. And, like, I feel the weight of her past hosts and her performance. I know we talked about that in the last episode.
It's going to come up a lot while we talk about it.
I feel that in this episode. That moment is so special at the end.
I voted gavel.
Andy B, do the poll? Okay. Okay, Amanda's going gavel. Amanda's going gavel.
Oh.
So I'm going Jadzia.
Chat is beautiful.
We are 100% the gavel.
Thank you, chat.
Chat is correct.
I wanted to vote for the gavel.
I appreciate that you couldn't, because that's what chat is here for.
Well, the Arbiter was too good of a character.
Right.
The Arbiter was no Assayer, and the Assayer was amazing.
We had, like, the two best, like, bit parts ever.
Yeah.
All right, best performance. Arbiter.
Yep.
Jadzia.
Lady Tondro.
Lady Tondro. Odo.
Sisko, I mean, he does some good trial-y shit here.
I'll throw him on there.
Tondro.
Oops. I accidentally created it.
That's good.
Is there anyone else?
We'll wait and see if someone nominates them.
Okay. The bocce ball wins. All right, guys. Favorite performance poll is live. And Doug, who do you say?
My favorite performance was Lady Tondro.
Really?
Yeah, and you convinced me of this.
Oh, Fionnuala. I actually know her name.
Oh, nice.
It's Fionnuala Flanagan.
Whoa, that is the name looks like a Star Trek name.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, though.
Probably not. You sold me on her being the best performer in the episode when you were talking about the emotional weight of the scene at the end. Yeah. Where that made me realize, like, because I was torn between Arbiter and the Lady Tondro. Which one was the best character? Which one was the best performance? Was one both? And I realized that I could split the difference because the Arbiter was a great character, acted well, so I can just, take it there. But Lady Tondro puts herself over the top as an actor performing in the role because there was nothing necessarily emotional or weighty about the performance for the Arbiter. It was a solid, great, well-characterized performance, but having the emotional effect on you made me think that's a notch above, which is hard in this kind of genre fiction, I think, to elevate above the material and have, like, actual emotional feelings.
Totally, I think that's awesome. Yeah, for me, the best performance is the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Because I think it does... For me, it would come down to Dax, Lady Tondro, and the Arbiter for best performance.
Sure.
Lady Tondro's performance, for me, is a hair too obvious.
It's a little heavy-handed. I give you that.
It's just a hair too obvious what that character is feeling because Odo doesn't pick up on it, and it just doesn't quite work for the story for me.
Yep.
It's impressive from an acting point of view. You know what that character's thinking. That character has a past, and you can hear it in what she's saying. But it's to me, it's just a little too much.
Can I jump into your explanation?
Yeah, go.
I can accept it because headcanon, she's a dramatic person. She's dramatic in the sense that she wasted the last minute to fly into Space Court. I can solve this right here. I'm the widow and he did this.
Right.
So her also, when she sees Jadzia, to be like, wow. oh
yeah,
and all of her like
that was she was really good in that moment. I mean, she did awesome. Don't get me wrong, but for me, the Arbiter's performance is like so fucking funny.
Yeah,
like she just like killed it. She just killed it. She got so much sass. It's fucking hilarious. It's like amazing.
What if a night court bailiff was the judge?
Exactly. Like, it's so out of place, but it works in this weird way, and it's just my greatest joy in the episode is the moments where she's on screen. I actually thought about making a supercut for the episode today of just the Arbiter's lines. I didn't do it because I didn't have time, but I thought about it.
Just the gavel. A supercut of just the gavel.
That's how much I liked her fucking performance, is that I'm like, I want to see all of that back to back. So for me, it's her. And what is her name? I've still got it close. Oh, I spelled Flanagan wrong. Okay. Fionnuala Flanagan. Anne Haney is her name.
Yeah.
So I'm going Anne Haney.
Okay. Someone in chat had said, picture her saying, hitting the gavel and saying,
you are the weakest link. I saw that. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, wait, I have to vote for Amanda.
Paula said that. Paula W. It's me, Paula W. It's you.
Wait, Amanda, who do you vote for?
Amanda voted.
Oh, you voted. Who did Andy vote for? I have to put in Andy's vote then. The Arbiter. Awesome. Okay. Boom.
The Arbiter rules.
And the results.
Boom.
The Arbiter.
Oh.
With half of the vote. Lady Tanjo and Odo also got votes.
Yep.
But the Arbiter...
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Very fair. Odo, I mean, his performance was awesome in this one.
Yeah.
So, Anne Haney taking it. Nice.
So, now we have to do my favorite segment. Mushroom scores.
Mushroom scores, which we don't keep track of because they are ethereal.
It's because they're nonsense. So I think it's pretty obvious.
Wait, we gotta explain real quick because I know Paula hasn't been here before. Okay. The mushroom score is like
rating the episode on the scale
of 0 to 10 space mushrooms because of the mycelial network from Discovery, which is just utter nonsense. Right. So it's like how much nonsense is
how much nonsense? How much space magic? How much
space magic
is in this episode?
The first one got a 12 because Q is the scale. Yeah, 12 out of 10.
Yeah, and I consider the mycelial network to be a solid 7.
For me, the mycelial network is a 10 out of 10.
Maybe an 8, no way.
It's a 10 out of 10 space magic.
Not even close to a 10.
10 out of 10.
You know what? You can travel through the mycelial network, never turn into a lizard, and fuck a coworker.
Yeah, well, that is 1,000 out of 10. That is the moment that breaks Star Trek forever.
Oh, it's...
and it's what I love it.
Like, if Star Trek didn't break when they went to the gangster planet, nothing can break Star Trek.
That is the episode that proves that nothing can break Star Trek.
Yes.
Even the first season of Discovery. Star Trek will survive.
Star Trek will survive.
Kevin, I'm curious how you feel about Discovery, because like you and I talked about wanting better, LGBT representation, and we finally got it, and then like what they did with it infuriated me.
Yeah.
And I understand that there will be more with those characters in season 2. I don't want to give spoilers, but
right.
Okay, you're super angry. I was so fucking mad.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Mad. I want to see what they're going to do with it now. They have set an obligation that they have to fulfill. This is the whole idea of shows making promises. Yeah, it's right up the same goddamn trope alley, totally. After Kirk and Spock took on Hitler's Germany. Yeah, okay, what is the space mushroom rating for that? For a piece of the action. Is that what that episode's called? Yeah, we're trying to avoid spoilers. A piece of action is rated... I give that a 5.5. I buy a clip of mushrooms. I kind of buy it. Koik. Okay, what about Dax? Space mushrooms on Dax. Like how much? Man, I give this like a. A 1. Yeah, I was gonna say a 0 even. Like the only space magic is the symbiotic relationship. But even that is that I buy completely. This whole episode. A piece of something. Yeah. This whole episode could be told in like near future Earth setting. In a different sci, it doesn't have to be a sci-fi space magic show, Yeah. This could be genetic engineering, near future kind of exploration of what it means. Yeah, totally. The symbiote is a mechanism to get there, but you could get there through other means. Yeah, one mushroom. It's very believable. I agree. I agree. This is a one mushroom situation. Yeah, and then the Q episode is infinite mushrooms. Q-less. It's not even, it's infinite mushrooms. It's wishing for infinite wishes to wish for infinite mushrooms. Because it's Q. Q is all the mushrooms.
Q is just mushrooms.
Mycelial network, 7.5. 7.
Q infinite. I'm convinced that the mycelial network is the Q continuum.
Oh.
I'm convinced of that.
I had a long, elaborate joke theory where I predicted what the future of all of the subsequent seasons of Discovery were going to do. Let me see if I can find it. Wait, are they voting on stuff? I got too high and now I've lost the thread.
I think we finished it. Yeah, the Arbiter won for best performance.
We're in like, oh right, we went to...
We are now... Hey, what's up, Andy?
We're in bonus stream time where I can look up stuff on my phone.
We're now in the stream time where we can do whatever the fuck we want. Yeah, we no longer have an agenda. We've passed beyond our agenda.
Okay, well I want to find this thing. I don't even know if it's funny or not.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could play a bit of a game, too, like we did last time. Last time we started the Deep Space Nine Super Nintendo game, but it actually crashed, so...
It was rough.
I need to... Because I was using a ROM, so I need to get a cartridge, and I haven't done it yet. I used to own a cartridge for that, and I don't know what happened to it.
Oh, yeah, alright. I'm gonna read this long theory. Discovery runs for 7 seasons. In the final season, crew members get scattered throughout the timeline, past and future, due to some temporal accident. After making some temporal whatever adjustments to the spore drive, they're able to make a limited number of jumps through time at will. They start jumping through time to rescue crew members. There'd be one like joke episode where they do like a Scott Bakula rescuing Archer as a quantum leap kind of like funny thing. I was just
going to insist that be included.
Absolutely. Okay, in the series finale, they jump to Earth in the 1960s. On the way back to their timeline, something goes wrong and a flood of Technobabble time particles spills into the mycelial network, causing it to burn out. As the mycelial network burns out, it warps reality and the network extends everywhere. The flood of time particles from the 1960s is mixed with green glowy spore particles, and then reality itself bends so that all of time and all of the aesthetic starts to look like Earth 1960s aesthetic. Women's uniforms become skirts. Head ridges disappear from all alien species. Sophisticated computer interfaces now become silver boxes with lights and knobs. Data crystals become reel-to-reel tapes. Holographic communication disappears for another century.
Oh my god.
So relax. It will all work out.
Wow. But I like that show.
I've solved Discovery.
You solved Discovery! That's so good. Spock kicks Tuvok's ass. Tuvix, Spock... What would happen if you combined Tuvix and Spock? You would have Spoovix.
Spoovix. That sounds very Babylon 5.
Spoovix. Yeah.
Spoovix is a cereal you can get on. I was gonna say Sagittarius. What the fuck is Londo?
Centauri.
Centauri. It's a Centauri cereal. Spoovix.
Spoovix. Yeah, that shit's called Spoo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spoo.
I can forget if you have to eat it cold or warm.
That reminds me, Kevin's screen name is Initiate Zathras.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that a great screen name?
That's a good one.
Well, do you want to play a game for a minute?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Maybe take a quick break and play some games?
Yeah.
So, okay. Amanda's voting for Tetris Attack, which is... Have you played that before on Super Nintendo?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Bejeweled-type puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
But it's competitive, like you're dropping damage on each other.
Andy thinks that I should write this.
I agree. You should write it. I got the new Starlink Battle for Atlas game, and that has a co-op mode where we're flying around in spaceships and blowing shit up. It's kind of like a Star Fox ripoff, and then they put Star Fox in the game.
Okay.
And then I also have something called 20XX, which is... it's like Mega Man X, but it's co-op, so we can play at the same time, and we go through randomly generated levels and blow shit up. It's really fun.
So I can tell you this, out of everything you said... I didn't understand much beyond Tetris. But I get that they're all games. I've heard of Mega Man. If I had to guess, I'd say Mega Man is a platformer.
Yes.
Star Fox is like a space shooting simulation.
It's a 3D thing. You're like behind your ship and like steering it around and like shooting stuff.
That's close to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Tetris Attack is like a puzzle.
Right.
It's not Tetris at all.
Yeah.
But it's a puzzle game.
It's not Tetris.
So what do you like? Do you like platformers? Do you like 3D?
Whatever the chat does. Don't you do whatever chat tells you to do?
Oh man, I would do what you feel like playing.
I wouldn't have a vote in this one.
You don't have a vote?
Because there's no way that I could distinguish between any of them, you know?
Oh, well, okay, let's have chat vote.
What game will we play?
Yeah.
Or for $20, I'll play whatever game you want.
Are you gonna grab another smoke?
For 15. Oh right, I'm already doing it. I'm like such a bad stream person.
No, that's great. Yeah, you go for it. You get started.
Okay.
I'll take a break also, but I'm gonna get this poll going first.
Yeah, $20, I'll play whatever game they want. You can ruin the poll. For $10, I'll take off my shirt.
Tetris Attack, Starlink. Doug's not taking off his shirt. Don't worry. I don't want us to get flagged. I will physically restrain him. You can donate the $10, but he's not taking his shirt off.
$5, I'll threaten to take my shirt off.
There you go. That's fair. 20XX.
20XX, yeah.
Create poll.
Do you ever throw in one that's like a game you want to play?
I mean, I love all three of these games.
What got you to
See, Kevin?
three in particular?
Well, Tetris Attack was recommended, but I wanted to play a sci-fi game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And 20XX and Starlink were both sci-fi games.
Okay.
But if Amanda wants Tetris Attack, I'll throw that in the mix also.
We'll do whatever Amanda wants. She's like one of the nicest people in chat who agrees with everything I say, except for Discovery.
Yeah. Because she agrees with me about Discovery because she's correct. Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Vote in that poll in chat. I better get the Arbiter out of here. Goodbye. Okay. And then I got to turn my webcam off, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, the mic is on.
All right.
The webcam is on.
All right.
The AFK screen is on also.
Well.
And now it's off. Okay, there we go.
All right. I don't know why you're making me do this, but here goes.
We're back.
I told chat that you were making me drink a LaCroix on camera for some reason. Who knows why Jesse does what he does?
All lies, my
I'm
friends.
hoping that there's some sort of sponsorship deal in here.
Hey, what's up? We're
Free
back.
drinks. Oof, this would be a good one.
Oh my goodness, Paula donated $25.
Ah.
This is so fun. Holy shit, Paula, thank you so much.
I wish I could get you real wine.
Wow, that's so kind of you. Thank you. You didn't get notified? No, what a bummer. Okay, so we had a poll for what game to play, and it was tied. So
you get to be the tiebreaker.
I'm gonna make the executive decision. Let's play some Starlink. I want to play a sci-fi game on this chat. And Starlink was tied with Tetris Attack. So
that's legitimate.
Let's set this up. Starlink, Battle for Atlas. Okay, and then we need to change.
Here, I can help you out with that.
We gotta like reset a bunch of shit here.
Right,
so
reroute
we go here.
Console. Oh, I think it's coming in.
We go here. Oh, good. I can see you still. Nice. Okay. And then we turn this on. Oh, let me get Starlink going. Look how pretty Zelda is. Look at this shit.
Oh, I know. I want to get a Switch so bad.
It's fucking gorgeous. Okay, now we go to Starlink and close that. Now we got to get our game capture to show up.
There's a lot of
this
rerouting.
Should do it. Boom. I know. I got shit to work this time. That's so exciting.
Nice.
Okay. What is happening here?
What is it? Sub count.
Wait, hold on. I'm just going to delete this.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know what's happening, but
just showing stats for the channel.
I can't get it to show the whole thing, though. It's weird. So I'll just remove it for now. Which means you don't need that either. Okay. And then we'll be a little in the way down here, but there's not really a good place to put us in this game, so I'll just leave it.
We'll try to keep all the action center screen. Is this simultaneous play or back and forth? Okay.
Simultaneous, yeah. That's another reason to pick this one. Well, all the games we're looking at are simultaneous.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, like Mario. I told you that I played the Hat simultaneous play with...
Oh, yeah.
Tyler Schnupp in L.A.
Okay, I'm going to post in Discord that we're switching to this. I think we're good to go.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay. For you?
I get a remote.
Oh, I gotta move this guy. I can't see the screen because the webcam's in the way. Okay. Put this over here-ish. And I have to make sure that we're still in here. Oh, we got a weird...
I'm here. That's my Halo.
Thing on top.
That happened last time.
How come none of these buttons are working the way they're supposed to? There we go.
Oh, it's gone. Damn it. That was fun for a second.
Oh, it's so weird. It's like when you sit forward. Hold on, I gotta... Maybe if I move the green screen, that'll go away.
See, it's gone now.
How about now?
Yeah, it's... Well, it's a little... Yeah, you have to squeeze this in a little bit. It's off. A little out of the... Oh, it's the reflection from the chairs.
I think this is okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we'll just have most of you. Not quite all of you. And I might shrink us down a little bit.
Yeah, you don't need to see my dumb face.
Your dumb face is the best part.
It's just my charm and personality.
Hey, Luis, what's up, dude? That Alice in Wonderland. I saw Nintendo's playing that. It looks crazy. Okay. So I think I'm going to be on the left, which is good because this camera's right in my face on the right. I was fighting this... I found this, like, boss that I could not defeat. It's crazy. Okay, so let's see. This is control your motion. This is your camera.
Okay.
What are the controls? I don't remember. We'll figure it out. Okay. Oh my god, I lost a bunch of ships. So... Okay, so now we need to get you in there. So press this button. There we go. So click A to press digitally. And then you get to pick a character.
Oh boy. Do people look... Oh, well, obviously. Hello, Scarecrow Man! I have a plant for a hat. I am Groot with guns.
And you get to pick a ship.
Oh, it doesn't matter? Yeah, let's get this little Sportster.
And then you can put weapons on ZL and ZR.
Okay. So
click one of those buttons and then add whatever weapons you want.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wait. Boink. And... Great.
Cool.
Okay.
And then those will just be your... Those are the buttons to click those weapons also.
Sure.
So I think A is boost. Hold on, let's start so I can see what's what. Hit B. There we go. And if we get too far apart, it's gonna like pull you closer to me.
Oh, I see. I'm over there. Okay.
Oh yeah, B is hover. There's also like a ground mode. We're just in space right now. And we can literally go anywhere we want in this game. Like, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
B is flying forward.
B is hover if you're on the ground. A is boost, yep.
So am I already moving forward?
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then the R is hyperspace. It makes you go way faster.
Alright.
I just hyperspaced this planet for no reason. Where are you? So the little green thing shows you where we are. I'm right behind you. There you are.
Oh, hello.
I'm just shooting stuff past you for no reason. Hi. Alright, what do you think? You want to go through space? You want to go down to the planet? Oh, and then X is your shields, and they only last for a second. Like, you can see your power gauge on the left side. Like, if you hold down X, you can see it going down. And if you let it deplete all the way, it takes longer to come back.
How do I get more?
You just let it sit, and it comes back.
Well, it wants me to go to this yellow thing.
Yeah, that's a main quest that we don't need to do right now. On the planet Vilus. Oh, there's enemies nearby. There's enemies right in front of us. Oh no, that's you. That's not an enemy.
Oh well. That'd be too hasty. So that's just a camera. Okay.
So yeah, we go down to the planet, then there's a whole bunch of like fun little missions we can do. Or we could look for some trouble up here in space.
Yeah, I already see some trouble. Long-range scanners show green glowing thing. I'm gonna fly at it.
I'm in hyperspace. Hyperspace is way slower than it should be.
Easy pickings. Blow them to
Oh
pieces
shit,
and
I'm attacked.
whatever's left. I'm going in. I got him.
Hold on, I might need to switch weapons for this fight. Where are they?
Yeah, you're mine. Can't hit me.
There we go.
Anyone retreat.
He blew up. Is that you? Oh, that's you. Okay. I think I defeated the outlaws.
Oh, were you the green dot that I was heading towards?
I think so.
Alright, well now I'm gonna head towards this thing. Oh, that's just the stars. Oh wait, what is that? That's just probably background.
Oh, that big star thing?
Yeah. Oh, that's you.
What is that? Looks like there's something over there. Yeah, there's like a question mark over here. I'm gonna go check it out.
Starlink tether weakening.
How did you get to hyperspace?
R. What's this? Space debris.
Wreckage near your position. Might be worth checking out.
How do I check out space debris?
Just plow right into it.
Whoa. Gravity cache? Hold on, I gotta switch weapons. Let's try a gravity weapon. That's not working either.
I'm in the frosty vortex.
Okay, I have to switch again, sorry. What destroys gravity? Stasis?
Gravitons, anti-gravity.
That's it.
Starlink tether is almost broken. Starlink tether at maximum strength.
What the hell just happened? Is that you? Yeah, that's you. Okay, we get to explore whatever this space debris is.
Is this where I need to do the hover?
That's if we're on a planet.
Oh, I've probably asked you that like a bunch of times.
What's this?
Oh, I think I just learned how to fly.
Break these open and get like stuff out of them. Collecting these weird glowy things. Energy booster. Not that much at this space debris. I'm not very impressed by the space debris.
No,
There's another gravity cache. Where is it?
Starlink tether weakening.
It says that it's... It looks like I can... I don't know, I can't do anything with it though.
Closer.
Do a barrel roll.
Picking up some wreckage near your position. Might be worth checking out. Warning. Starlink.
Where did you go?
No! I made it to my
Snapper.
debris!
Hey, what's up, Pickle Joe? You made it to debris?
I thought I did.
Wait, there's some debris over here too. Oh, I just realized I didn't check the mix to see if we were working. Check, check. Yeah, that sounds good. Outlaw traps. Is that an outlaw? Or is that you? I found abandoned cargo. Wait, did you just get blown up?
I think so, yeah.
Uh-oh. So yeah, now you can pick any other ship you want.
Boom.
Except for that one. Because that's the one you just blew up.
Oh.
Oh god. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with the other stuff.
These are already set.
Yeah, you can like change the wings if you want, but it gets a little confusing. And
Won't give up that easy.
outlaw mines, huh? Whoa! I just got hit by a mine. Oh my god, I just got blown up. Oh no, I don't have any ships. I have one ship left.
Oh, are we like using your ships?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can reset them.
Outlaw mine in proximity.
You like that? I'm going in.
Got one.
Uh-oh, this ain't looking good for you.
Did I get him?
I'm picking up some wreckage near your position. I
think I got him.
Cool.
There's still all these mines here, though. Ow.
Get away from us?
So then what's this thing that they were protecting? Oh god.
You like that?
We're getting attacked again.
Oops. Did I get you?
Uh-oh. Am I being attacked from behind? I am. Oh no!
Easy pickings.
Okay. I can't get a new ship. So I have to respawn.
Okay.
Let's see. What, oh, that fucks it all up.
That's okay. I'm not doing anything. I think I shot one guy.
To run.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
Okay, so now where are we? And now I think we get all of our ships back.
Okay. I need to have a default setting.
What do you mean?
I can't tell if my weapons do anything.
Cool. I have to wait. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, no
we can
worries.
figure that out.
Amanda, I love how this stream gets longer every week. Yeah, the goal is this just this 24/7.
Eventually it'll be all day, every day. Okay.
Sorry I'm not very chatty during the game.
Well, why don't we go down to a planet? I think it's a little easier to figure out what's happening on a planet than in space.
Okay. So we're heading towards this one then. Curate?
Yeah, let me just double check actually. Curate. Have I been to this planet? I don't think I've been to that planet yet. Well, let's go.
Alright.
Sure, why not? So if you press the upper R button, you can go into
warp.
hyperspace, yeah. Yeah.
I was doing the Picard maneuver and just a series of short warp bursts.
The best thing is, like, when we go down to the planet, it's seamless. Like,
Tether weakening. Warning.
you just, like, fly down through the atmosphere and then you're on the planet. Isn't that cool?
Tether at maximum strength.
Okay, so now we're in the ground mode. So now is when you can use that hover.
Warning. Starlink tether is almost broken.
Test. It's working. Take that, common minerals. Okay, should we go take on an enemy?
If the enemy is steering the ship, then I am losing that fight.
Let's go... Here, this is like an easy mission.
Okay.
Let's go here. So then it'll be the white dot on the screen.
Ooh, I'm hunting lizards.
Tether weakening.
Oh, this is it. Okay.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
So I'm like decoding this piece of this ship, and then we get attacked while that happens.
Nearby to maintain connection.
Where? There he is.
Another down.
Warning. Legion incoming.
Where is he? There he is.
Ready to let loose.
This is Peppy. All systems go.
Peppy. Where are the bad guys?
I'm on fire.
Starlink tether weakening.
Yeah, they are. They're dead. Oh, there's one there.
Hack successful. Legion data received.
Yay, we did it.
Processed.
We accomplished something.
I'm killing this fucking rock.
Okay, let's see where to next. Empire, let's go here.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Wait, what was that? It's past something that said M1 engine?
We don't need any engines. Excuse me, plants.
I don't know what I saw. My inventory's full.
Well, quit picking shit up.
Starlink tether
I know, right?
broken. Starlink tether weakening.
Empire.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
Nice choice. Your weapon's tearing them apart.
These little jerks. You can push A to shake them off your ship if they jump on you.
Oh.
You looking for a fight? Well,
Outlaw.
Target eradicated.
Where's the outlaw? Oh, there he is.
Check the star map. Those outlaw eject pods left a trail wider than Carl's head.
Take that, jerk. I'm liking this game a lot.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's see where we're going next. Here's another one of those.
All right, let's go imp hunting.
Let's do it. You can also like go into flight mode by pressing R, your hyperspace button. Here it is.
Swarm detected.
Ugh, they're a real problem. We should clear them out.
Oh. Are they done? Are there more? There are more.
How am I nowhere near you?
Imp swarm neutralized.
Take that, Imp Hive. There we go.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
And then oftentimes after you fight in an area, there's like good stuff to pick up. Like mods for your ships and weapons and stuff.
Ooh. Just saw a barrel of green goo.
Oh yeah, you can throw those and they'll explode. If you hold Y. And then how do you throw those? I don't remember. Hold on, I gotta check where we're going next.
I got a barrel. I got a barrel.
Pioneer Wreckage. There's lots of spots to go to.
Is there a LaCroix planet?
Yeah, it's Earth. Okay, so there's another Impive over this way. So yeah, this is like an open universe game where you can just go wherever you want, whenever you want to.
Warning. Starlink tether is almost broken.
Ouch.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
There it is. Got here, little jerks.
Warning. The enemy is resistant to heat weaponry.
Oh, that's you. Like, what's that thing? Boom. You need imps cleared out. You know who to call. I love how when we're done, you're just like, I want to blow up everything else, too.
I don't know if I'm hitting anything.
Yeah, you can't really hit the stuff that's not, like, bad guy stuff. What's this? Oh, here's a
Starlink tether weakening.
a station of some kind.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
Where's the entrance? There we go. Is this a good area? Bad area? It looks like I've been here already.
Launching data decryption.
Oh, maybe not. There's you. Oh, there's bad guys. Okay.
Yes, Fox 1, bad guy 0.
Yeah, you just run into like the same enemies on every planet, basically. Did someone just say you're hired?
Oh, good. I could use a space job.
Hello. Bad guys. Where are you and these bad guys? There we go. That's me.
You sure?
Stop it. Where are the bad guys?
I've been killing them.
Let me in. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you just like take these areas back from the bad guys.
Hey, we
Griftang Prison joins the Alliance. Okay, we need to go find a spot where I can like unload all the shit I'm carrying, because my inventory's full. So I can like sell it for gear and shit.
I know a Ferengi.
Oh, and these ships are good ships. You don't want to hit these. The prospector guards. I know it's asking a lot, but you don't want to kill those guys.
We'll see.
Hey, what gives? I'll scrap you for that.
Oh no. Wait, there's an outlaw.
Not for long.
We track some outlaws to their hideout. map's been updated.
Prospector card. Got it. Yep.
Yeah, those are good guys. Okay, where to now? Let's see.
They found a hideout.
Yeah, we can do that. What's this? Observatory. That's a good spot to go to. Well, let's go to the depot on our way to the observatory. What do you say?
Starlink tether weakening.
Sure. Ooh, there's another bad guy.
Oh, there is?
Warning.
Oh no. Oh, that looks so horrible on your screen.
That's what happens when I run away from you.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
When I go do my own missions.
It's like, let me be my own man, damn it.
Approaching warp speed. Cannot allow Link to weaken.
Okay, here's the depot.
Help! I'm under attack! Help!
They're under attack.
Alright, calm down.
Starlink tether at maximum strength.
Would that say like Springtide Imp or something?
Hey, knock it off.
Imps everywhere. Where are they?
Nice try.
Ready to let loose.
Well, that was easy.
Boom.
That was very easy. Sweet. These are fun to blow up, these canisters.
Starlink tether weakening.
Oh, I blew up the wrong thing.
Controls are frozen.
I love blowing these things up, and then they, like all the pickups just.
Oh yeah,
travel
they
to
just
you.
come to you, yeah. I thought someone was attacking me the first time that happened.
But yeah, if you're too close to a cold canister when it explodes, it freezes your ship.
Yeah, I've had that happen numerous times.
Starlink database updated.
We like saved this area, and now we're just destroying it.
It's ours to do what we want with.
Prospector guy's like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
So they better watch their own business, because otherwise we're gonna wind up in the soup.
Whoa.
Starlink tether weakening.
I know, I'm going on patrol.
Reminder, artifacts
Okay,
of the
let's
electron
go. I want to go to the observatory.
era like
Oh,
this
good.
one are
Let's go do
prized
some
by prospector
science.
settlers. Starlink tether at maximum strength.
We chat quiet. Yeah.
Where do we start?
Yeah, it's harder to chat when we're playing.
I've got an outpost on scan. Let's see
Well,
if they'll
maybe
join us.
it is for me.
It takes some getting used to for sure.
You're probably good at this.
Outpost search. Okay, so you don't want to shoot the outpost. The outpost is being attacked, actually.
The outpost now.
All right, I see the outpost.
Our observatory's under fire! Someone help! Please stop attacking me!
So,
Oh, I
so
thought
this
you
one we can actually get in trouble with the authorities if we kill the researchers.
Yeah, okay.
Who's attacking them, though?
Besides me?
Hello. I'm just returning with some samples. Remember to bring any biological material you find.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Okay.
How's it going? Name's Fox, and I'm with the good guys. We're gonna take back Atlas from those Legion punks.
Locals grind up the horns of the Razorbeak because they believe the power.
I'm on it.
Good then. Retrieve the...
If you're getting burned by a powerful Cyclops, try switching weapons. I believe each variant has a
Oh,
weakness.
I want this mission.
Hey
I want to
there.
sell this.
Still got the analyzer with you?
Hold on, let me cancel that mission.
We changed our minds.
I don't want to help you analyze shit. Okay. Damn, I thought I could sell stuff here. Okay. There's an Impive. There's a town.
Bashir Town.
Bashir Town. Smuggler's Rest. Let's go there.
Oh, we can definitely sell stuff to smugglers.
Starlink tether weakening.
Also good relationship advice.
Warning.
Leak weakening. Approach partner.
Alright, here we go.
Yes! Fox 1, bad guy 0.
Outlaws, too. Oh, shit.
At maximum strength.
I'm coming for you, mud breath.
Mud breath?
You looking for trouble, pal?
That feels racist.
It does kind of feel racist.
Ouch. That must have hurt.
Those outlaws left in a hurry, but Sage was able to track them to their base. Check the star map.
Weapons having no effect.
Where are you?
Starlink tether weakening.
I've lost the fighting again. There we go. Smuggler's Cyclops. I have a Cyclops? Oh, nice.
Boom! I have a special move I do. I go to high warp and I smash into them.
Nice.
And then I fire my gun at them.
There's actually a battering ram weapon that does that on purpose. It's really cool. Alright, so these are the good guys. These guards.
Reminder. Corrupted Nova samples like this are a valuable resource. It will fetch a high price at any outpost.
Outpost, that's where you sell stuff. I need to sell stuff. My inventory's full.
Weapons having no effect.
That's why I need heat weapons. Too lazy.
Reminder. Artifacts of the Electrum Rush era like this one are prized by prospector settlers.
I think I smashed into something.
We shot this 3 times. There we go. Sweet. Oh, that's you. Alright. What do you say? Should we call it?
Sure.
I'm sleepy.
Okay, let's do it.
We're getting close to 4 hours. Well, you guys rock. Thank you so much for those still hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for watching us play video games.
Yeah.
And listen to us ramble about Star Trek.
There's some power crystals just for you special people. And Paula and Quite the Snapper for the donations. Thank you so much. That was so kind.
They should get some power crystals too.
See you, Andy.
Bye,
See
Andy.
you, Amanda. See you, Slazinski. Tomorrow is the sci-fi level design competition, which I'm very excited about. Well, we got a small crowd, so maybe we'll skip the raid today.
Shipment of Electrum.
But thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. So 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Maybe 3 p.m.
Maybe 3 p.m. Yeah. And Doug's just walking away.
Oh.
Bye.